We are lit.
Frankie and the trendsetter.
You did it again, man.
General, HOK Field Marshal, now. None of them can bother dance on the top.
Revelation,
Violate the general. End up in a blood clot funeral home. Ankh the AK Jabari got the chrome. Hector Sahar was sending them home. Regina the alley with a Cuban and a galley. Send you back on Isle Valley with a shot in your toe intellectually. How click the link if your scholarship sloppy. More if your smile make you cry with the truth. No lie, my youth in my really scored and 21 gun salute for commission. Not a brother, a hostile, a move on like all left for the black woman not all like Ulls and a yana for sister freedom. I the whole panel know what time for Bible thumping the minute them see me come. Revelation set Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can bother dance on it. None of them can bother dance on it. Them got a podcast but saw better.
Coast to coast, we be banging. Coast to coast, we be bringing all this knowledge, we be slanging. In the HOK, we don't do no entertaining.
Speak the truth, speak the facts.
What the niggas just a layman. Better get on one accord. The future can be yours. Ancestors push you more. We gotta go explore the sciences and math. The future's based on class. You bout to catch my wrath. We turning up this track.
In the dark times of the light.
The dark heart still fight.
Still can all unite.
We gotta make this right. Talk right now. We learn how to stand up and stand proud. No man down. We fam now. House of the country, my clan now.
Frankie and the trendsetter. None of them can bother dance on it. None of them can bother dance on it. Them got a podcast but saw better.
When I look at you niggas, I see what I'm not. Go take him, a little bit of her, mix it with them, I put them in a pot. You still can't get none like me. It might sound the same, but it's unlikely. One white tee. If I lift it up, you niggas gonna see where the gun might be. I thought I told ya. Affirmation, revelation, we some soldiers. Signetter put this team together, now it's over. We got the weight of the world up on my shoulder. When you get conscious information, hearts turn colder. Now look at these trappers who rapping the same, so stuck in their lane, systemically, chemically. I'm thinking something is wrong with their brain. As long as they paid in for in the chain, I got nothing to say. They in love with the gang. I traded my gang for change, and now that I changed, a few things still say the same.
Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can bother dance on it. None of them can bother dance on it. Them got a podcast but saw better.
Peace. Oh my gosh, it never fails. Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep, namaste, Jumbo, Ashe, Shalom. All the greetings of love and light to the beautiful darkest minds of the light. You are in the HOK. I have this up on the screen. We're going to just jump right into it. As far as promoting this debate goes, because tomorrow it's going to be lit. It's going to be another classic. You don't want to wait till the last minute, but I know how it is. We always wait to the last minute, but you really don't want to. Get your ticket for this debate. Brother Sanchez will be going up against the captain of the pseudo killers, the God killer, the one and only Ankh West. They clashed before, these two titans. They will be clashing again. That one is also a classic. It's in the crates. Sonnetter has it locked away. You want to be a part of the original audience. Get your ticket for this debate tomorrow. It's a $30 donation. There's the link. I don't know what you got to do. Skip your caramel latte, crushed whatever, mocha, whatever, skip your backwood, whatever you're doing, get that $30, have your debate party, get it lit tomorrow for your Saturday. And that's that. Yes, thank you very much. We do have another debate coming up. Don't think I forgot you, Apostle, and don't think I forgot you, Morpheus. Now, this link here is not for that debate, so I'm taking the link down. That's for the link that I have in the chat is for the debate tomorrow. This debate is coming up. Mr. Morpheus versus Apostles of Quan. And their topic will be, is Jesus a fraud? Was Jesus a liar? That is coming up after the debate tomorrow. Their debate is on the 28th. So get your tickets for that. But since y'all, everybody I know, Donald Trump's got everybody in a headlock with the economy. So get your debate for tomorrow. Get your ticket tomorrow first if you're on a budget, and then save up to get this one on the 28th. You know how we do. All right. And if you don't, God bless you if you have it like that. You understand? If you could just lay it out all at once, you are the baller and the shot caller. Get the tickets for the debates. The debates are always classics. They're always lit. I said a lot. Oh, yes. Shout out Sonnetter and the Architects of the Global Consciousness. That was a great show. Sonnetter is the king of all of it, the king of consciousness, and those are the other apostles. So there we go. Now, enough about all that. Let's get to my sister, Genesis, who was gracious enough. Sonnetter said, don't shout out Naphtali, but for me, I'm going to shout out Naphtali because she's a woman debater, even though she never shouts me out. But I don't need her to shout me out because I'm the tree and she's the fruit. I'm the mama and she's my daughter. I always say that. Genesis is my daughter as well. Okay, I'm the trailblazer. Let me say this to Naphtali. Naphtali, you know you're wrong to bring Genesis over there and let her get jumped like that. So she wanted to come in. It's all love. This isn't vicious, but we have to let Genesis come in. She's going to do a thorough presentation once again about voodoo and address if it's witchcraft, if you're going to burn in hell, if she's worshiping the devil. She needs to clear it up with her facts and sources. We're going to let her have the floor. I'm just introing it. And then at the end, people can come in and ask her questions. She can get proper smoke, not jumped, let's bound and gagged like she got over there on. It wasn't even fair. 90% of the time she's on mute. And Naphtali, you coming in talking cray. I love you, but you talking crazy. Coming in there and letting people come in and talk about this is satanic and
yeah, it was crazy. it was wild. and the thing about it is that after that I had a show. Something happened. Something's going on. What happened? Something's going on. All right, so her mic just went down, so she's trying to get her whole thing going. But in the meantime, without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the actual situation. So the show. So what is it? So what is divination? So let's get into what exactly happened, how we kind of got into it, in my answers to a lot of the questions. Let's go.
Witchcraft, but what they never called it was what it truly is: wisdom. African spirituality is not a superstition. It is not sorcery. It is not chaos. It is a system, a science, a sacred order that has guided millions for generations, long before colonizers brought their gods and their guns. This is the truth they buried, but today we unearth it. Welcome to Echoes of Africa, and today we're reclaiming our roots. Before the Bible, before the Quran, before European missionaries stepped foot on African soil, there were shrines, there were oracles, there were sacred forests and ancient chants echoing through the night. From the sands of the Sahel to the rivers of the Congo, Africans communed with the divine in ways that were both deeply spiritual and profoundly intellectual.
And now let me be clear, when I'm saying that Africans, I'm also talking about Africans in Israel. I'm not only talking about the Africans that existed on the mainland, but actually before Israel's a part of Africa. So a lot of times when people want to demonize one thing, in my mind's eye, everybody was pretty much doing something similar or one step away from each other. You might have had slight differences in what things were called and this, that, the other. But when you actually put it all together, we're pretty much practicing very similar practices. But what happened is one thing got demonized over the other. Let's go.
Because African spirituality is not about fear. It is about balance. Let's begin with the Yoruba of Nigeria. Their spiritual system, known as Ifa, is one of the most complex and complete systems of thought in the world. Ifa is based on Olodumare, the supreme creator. But Olodumare does not work alone. He sends emissaries, called Orisha, forces of nature that guide the human spirit. Shango is the Orisha of thunder and justice. Oshun, goddess of rivers, fertility, and love. Ogun, the spirit of iron and war. Each Orisha is not just a deity, they represent a principle of life. Devotees don't just worship them, they understand them. They consult Ifa priests, called Babalawo, who use divination to decode spiritual messages using a sacred binary system that predates modern computing. This isn't witchcraft, this is cosmology. In Ghana, the Akan people recognize Nyame, the supreme being, but they also revere the Abasam, spiritual entities tied to rivers, trees, ancestors, and morality. In daily life, Akan's spirituality teaches ethical living, not out of fear of punishment.
So all of these things were different aspects of African spirituality that practice the same thing. Let's go.
But from an understanding that the world is interconnected, that your actions echo through your family, your land, your future. That's not magic, that's philosophy. Travel to the Congo and you'll meet the Bakongo, who speak of Nzambi Mpungu, the creator, and the Kalunga line, a cosmic boundary between the world of the living and the world of the spirits. They use the Dikenga, a cosmogram that maps the human life cycle, direction, time, and destiny. It is drawn as a circle with 4 points: birth, maturity, death, and rebirth. This isn't just art, it's spiritual geometry. You see, African spirituality doesn't separate the spiritual from the physical. It doesn't split the sacred from the secular. Everything is divine. Everything is energy. Everything is connected. So why did they call it witchcraft? Because it scared them. Colonizers and missionaries could not control a people whose power came from within. So they demonized it. They called ancestral veneration idolatry. They called sacred dances pagan. They called herbal knowledge black magic.
Ashe, listen, Mighty Hebrew, I would love for you to come up to actually talk, because I think what happened is that during this show, what happened is, see, even with the Hebrew Israelites, what they were doing, well, I guess it was a few Hebrew Israelites that were like on the show that I did on this, and they all were just turning against me, all jumping on me, and then but then Mighty Hebrew, when he came on my show after this show, he was able to actually explain the similarities in how things really are. And so it was just interesting to hear two different sides of the same kind of a group. Well, not even the same group, because he also was able to explain later on that the Israelites, that you had one sect of the Israelite that, you know, tends to be more spiritualistic, and then the other sect that kind of is more closer to like being Christian. So you get a lot of like this kind of a Christian type of mindset. But after I showed all of this, you know, this is how we got into this kind of this being considered like witchcraft, and African spirituality being witchcraft. And then when I asked Mighty Hebrew, okay, and him having over 30 years of experience in the religion, or 40 years, I'm not even sure how long, but very long time in the religion, you know, okay, what are the similarities? You know, things that he pointed out, there's a lot of similarities in the beliefs. And so I think that that people just need to, you know, before they judge and point the finger at other religions and other ways of life, I think that there needs to be more understanding. Let's go.
But what they were truly doing was erasing memory, because memory is power. They replaced Orishas with saints. They burned shrines. They renamed spirits as demons. They banned native languages in prayer. And then they gave you a new name, a new God, and a new shame. But African spirituality never died. It survived in the whispers of elders, in the rhythm of the drum, in the herbalist's hands, in the dreams of the gifted. And across oceans, it took root again. In Haiti, Vodou. In Brazil, Candomblé. In Cuba, Santeria. In the American South, Hoodoo. These weren't foreign religions. They were African belief systems in exile. Systems that adapted, merged, survived through chains across plantations, under threat of death. That's not witchcraft. That's resilience. Today, young Africans are asking questions again. They're going back to the roots, not to reject their modern faith, but to understand where they came from, to find meaning not in what was imposed, but in what was forgotten. And what they are discovering is profound.
So that was just the beginning of what was like played to start off the show on Naphtali's show. But as the time went on the show, more and more the questions kind of got like very closed-minded, if I must say so myself. But before I go further up, I have a person that's on the panel. Welcome, Mansal Hercules. Welcome. Did you have something to say? Mansa? Okay, well, I don't know. He's not saying anything, so let's continue. So let me go a little bit further in the into this.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm just here support, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely I'm a traditionalist, and I believe in the system. You know what I'm saying? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here to support, you know what I'm saying, back it up, because African spirituality is the real deal. So yeah, I'm definitely here to support, man, and what I'm saying, just to back it up, what I'm saying? So if people just want proof on how it's real and how it's codified, that's what I'm here for, what I'm saying? We're gonna back it up, we're gonna prove it to them, what I'm saying? So I'm here for support.
Peace, Master Hercules. I just want to let you know, Genesis, check your message that I sent you.
Okay.
Because yeah, I didn't. Go ahead. You see what I said on Messenger? Because yeah, that's coming from the top. But go ahead, finish. I'm not gonna. Just want to say that. Go ahead, finish your thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely here for support because, like you said, African spirituality is real. Like the video said, it's actual science. It's not make believe. You know what I'm saying? So, and we could prove that. So, I'm here for support, definitely.
Okay, for sure. So let's kind of go a little bit further into the conversation. Let's go. Episcopal. So I know the whole Lord's Prayer. I know the whole Apostles, Creed and all that. So I kind of explained how my upbringing was. I grew up as a Christian, African Methodist Episcopalian church. I was a Christian for my first 13, from the age of 13 up until the age of like into my 30s. And then, something happened, and then that kind of took me, actually it was a couple of atheists that like started to argue with me about the Bible, and I had to go back and kind of say, wait a minute. And so like it made me really get in. I had to think like, what am I? Okay, that doesn't make, yeah, you're right. And so and then from there I started to discover about African spirituality. Let me just go ahead and let that story be told so you guys could get some context of how this whole thing started on this channel. Let's go. So growing up, that was my upbringing up until like the age of about 27, very heavy Christian influence. So somehow I ended up running into SETI, and then watching also Sonetter, but I ran into SETI and him being into Egyptian stuff. And I also had these guys that were really into, they were like hackers, me being a software engineer. And they began to like question, okay, so why do you believe, they began to like question me. And I didn't have the answer. I started to look deeper into it. So the initial thing was me being into like, okay, switching over from Christianity, getting into the Egyptian aspect of things. Then I would say about like maybe 7 years ago, I got into the Yoruba faith through a friend of mine named Akia Ma'at. She said, hey, maybe you should look into this. And so after that, I looked into it. I talked to her about Babalawo, got my first reading, and that was all she wrote.
What up, bro?
Welcome, Laura, and welcome, Stephen Asar. Is there anything that you guys want to say?
Peace, quick. Yeah, I'm here for support as well, and I just want to say that there's a lot that people don't understand about witchcraft, which is a Western European term. And there's a lot of the way that that word is defined can be not only ambiguous, but it can be, it can be troubling. It could be some positive and negative. So all those people that attacked you, right, and supported the attack on you, it all came from ignorance. And it's something that these Westerners called our African ancestors, because they didn't understand the practices that we did. Not only was it a physical thing, but it also was a mental and spiritual thing. And that's where the power came from. And that's all I have to say for right now.
Okay, so let's play a little bit further. So let's kind of get into it so people can kind of get the context of what we're speaking of. And then if people want to kind of chime in, because there were some points where I wish I probably would have been able to speak up a little bit more. But I feel like I was overpowered. I feel like I was almost kind of taken a little bit of aback. I wasn't expecting it, so I didn't know how I didn't come prepared to for that environment. So let's just go. Let's watch.
I was an ordained minister by the age of 15, so I mean,
But my thing is, why is the Bible not the book of the people in Africa? Why can't the Bible be our
You
book?
say why it's not the book? Well, one.
You said it's not. You said you'd rather have your own backyard. So I'm trying to figure out why is it not? Why is the Bible not ours?
Well, colonialism.
But why? Just because you are aware that. So when is colonialism? When did it take place?
You say when did it take place?
When did they enter? When did you say the Bible was?
I would say the colonialization of Africa started possibly, and I don't want to go back too far in history. I want to say somewhere between the times of 500 AD.
Okay, so you know that the oldest Bible is older than that, and it was found in.
You say what?
The Ethiopian text is older than that.
Oh yeah, sure.
The Aksumite Empire is older than that.
Okay.
The Aksumite Empire.
Yeah,
actually,
but
it's older than.
You asked me about when did it take place? I mean, like there's plenty of. If we go into the Igbo culture, that all of that stuff predates the Bible and everything in it.
Well, that's what. But the Igbos reached themselves back to the actual Israelites. So my thing is when you guys talk about the Africans and you say African spirituality, but you don't want to say the Bible is ours when the Bible is ours. The Bible goes back.
The Bible
you say that the Greco-Romans, but the Romans never they didn't begin with it. They eventually got it.
The Bible. Hold on, let me just say this. I'm not here to go against the Bible.
Yeah,
whether it's Greek or Roman or whether who wrote it, written, not written. Hold on, no, stop. I'm not trying to have a debate on whether or not the Bible was, written and before or after African spiritual systems had their oral traditions. Because that would be ridiculous, right? What you think is that there were African oral spiritual traditions, and that these things were a part of the community. And even today, we don't talk against the Bible. We don't talk about we don't talk about the Quran. We don't talk negatively about like the Hindu. We don't talk negatively about any of those things. We don't judge any of those situations. A real priest is not going to judge any of that because we feel it's all relative. It's all relative. Knowledge is infinite. There is no separation. We think that there's a separation, but there's really a connection at the end of the day. So I would say this: when it comes down to divination is there is a individual divination, there is a community divination, there is and different people from different levels perform divination according to what their rank in society is, right? So me as an individual, I have my house divination. And then people in the community have like their, like the kings and the whatever, they have their divination because kings got divined for back in those times. The higher up in society, you had divination. So bottom line, and that means that you had a priest come and tell you what was going to happen or what the Odu of what was happening is. Now let me explain when I say this. What I mean by what is happening, I mean not what's going to happen like as a sorcerer prescribes the future. divination is not a tool for fortune telling or telling what's going to happen in the future. It is a tool used to diagnose a problem. Okay, so I want to make that clear. When we divination is not to tell you your future. It's not supposed. I mean, if people are using it for that, I don't know what they're doing. That's something. That's sorcery. Okay, divination is for problem diagnosis, or to tell you, okay, where are you at? Are you in balance? Are you out of balance? Is there something going on with you that you need to fix that you're not aware of? You know, and so that energy is then brought out and told to you, and then you either fix it or you don't, because you have free will. So that's pretty much what divination is. I want to make sure that I'm clear on that, because I think that what people, because the next question she's going to ask, well, if divination is so great, then why are you in the position that you're in right now? And that's a stupid, it's not a stupid question, but it's a ridiculous question, because you can't, a person could get diagnosed something and still not take the treatment. You know, I could tell a person, listen, you have cancer and stop smoking. And if they don't stop smoking, they're going to die of cancer. You know? So you understand what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what it is. You know, it's pretty as simple as that. Just because you tell somebody what to look out for does not mean they're going to follow your direction. So I just want to ask so far, does anybody have any questions or any statements they want to make? Nope, quiet. Let's keep going. Now, divination, please make no mistake, is not the same thing as soothsaying or telling a person like it'll tell you the energy behind something, but it's not about being a predictory thing about the future. I hear somebody. You unmuted. Did you want to say something, Mansa Hercules?
Yeah. Was that live? Oh, was that you? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm here and I'm there.
Oh, okay. So, I didn't know if that was from the video. If that was you was commenting on.
Yeah, I was asking. Yeah, so I'm actually on the video, because this is a video. We're kind of reviewing a video that I did, and I'm actually here too. So, I was asking, did you want to say something about what I said up to this point?
No, you're right. I agree exactly. Divination is not about predicting the future. This is we're looking at the Odu Ifa, and this is a concept where we're looking at it represents the totality in the field of the universe. The questions that you can ask, any question that you can ask, it is going to answer it. So divination is not about I agree, it's completely correct, and it's not about predicting the future. And when we're dealing with divination, we're looking at an old system that's 5,000 years old, and that's what people have to recognize. This is 5,000 years old, and it's been in use for that long. So if it was something wrong with it, you would think along that line for that time period, people would be like, "Yo, this ain't working, man. This ain't, something's wrong. This don't work." You know what I'm saying? So it's not, and the thing is, it's not just in Yoruba. It's not just in Ifa. It's also in Ankh. It's also, you find it in Kumbale. You also find it in Central Africa, in the Congo. So this concept that we've been using, that our ancestors have been using, deals with the forces of the universe and the elements in the universe and around us to answer questions that people bring forth. It could be personal questions. It could be questions about the community. It could be questions about the world. But yeah, go ahead and continue. Definitely.
Right. Like if you were to ask me, if I were to do a divination, you were to ask me, is this guy gonna be my soulmate, or can you make him tip into my soulmate? Or I would tell you, I'm not gonna ask that question. Answer that question. You know what I'm saying? Because that's free will. That's a person's free will to what they're gonna do. But I could tell you the energy around the relationship. I could tell you what needs to be worked on, or anything like that. I could tell you the energy behind it, but I can't tell you all these deep. Is he gonna is he gonna propose to me and this, that, the other? That's getting into that, but I can say, hey, this is the actual energy behind this relationship, whether it be toxic or whether it be healthy, that's probably a way more important thing to know anyway, right?
And that's what the Babalawos are for. They let you know this information, the energy behind these people, and that's what the elders are for as well, is in the community. When they set you up in relationships, is with people who have a connecting energy with. It's a positive energy with each other. And so when we're looking at the Odu, it's not like you said, it's not something that's just made up. It's like an encyclopedia, a living encyclopedia, because it's 256 of them, and they have to remember it, and it evolves with time as well. You know what I'm saying? When things changes in the environment or in your circumstances in the world, it evolves as well. So it's not something. This is not something. I guess like just make believe or something like that. This is something that has been working and that has been working for 5,000 years.
But here's another question that they were saying something along the lines of, well, why isn't there a book for it? It's like, well, do you understand it took 4 days to sing the entire Odu, the whole Odu Ifa? It takes 4 days, day and night. There's kids every 23rd of June. They go out and they read the Odu Ifa, and it takes them 4 whole days.
Yeah, but I don't think that really like answer the question like why it's not a book. It's not a book because it's oral tradition.
Wait, hold up, Laura. Let me just answer before you go. So yeah, you're right. It's oral tradition because one of the things that we have to realize is that I remember checking the Diop and Theophil Binga, they pointed out that when Kemet failed, the priests, the elders from Kemet, they moved back towards inner Africa. And so you're looking at these traditions that came from Kemet, where we could see it in Kemet, where it was written down, it may be carved into the walls, where it went to inner Africa when you go to the Congo or when you go to Ifa in Nigeria, where it was more oral tradition, where it wasn't written down. So it was much more like, think of it like as data. You got a hard drive in Kemet, but you go to Nigeria, it's uploaded into the cloud. Now there's more oral. You know what I'm saying? And so these traditions, they became more. It was an oral thing, and this was information that they carried from those years, and it's like I said, it's a living encycloppedia. It's not something.
Can I also make it plain that when we say oral tradition, I'm not saying it's spoken. It's saying it's sung in song format.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you? So you could write a song down, but it's not going to have the same effect. I could give you a hymnal, and I could say this is the words to. Let's think of a hymnal song. The blood of Jesus will never lose its power, right? The blood that Jesus shed for me way back on Calvary, the blood that gives me strength from day to day, it will never lose its power. Now, I could read that and give it to you in a book format that you could read, or I can sing it to you. It's not going to mean the same thing in both different ways, because one is a song. This is a song. So the actual Odu Ifa is in song format. So that's why I think that people are misunderstood. So when that person is actually singing that whole thing, that 4 day, it is in song format. The kids, when these little kids less than 12 years old are singing the Odu, it's in the song format. And if you actually listen to the Yoruba language, it does have like a tonal song kind of a sound to it, Yes, you imagine when they're singing everything has like there's a tone. So I think that people just have to understand that this is just about vibration, sound. It's more to it than just words on a book. You know what I'm saying? So, welcome to the chat, DJ, the DJet, Sonu.
Yeah,
Jet
it's
Sonu.
called,
Jet
yeah,
Sonu.
the Jet Sanu.
Okay, the Jet Sanu. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, so it's like when you really start processing and you start realizing, like what we said with that, is that it's an oral tradition. So traditionally they never wrote it in a book. Like it's ritual. It's ritual. It's not a holy book. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're referring to the Akashic records or something. You're not talking about an actual book. So like I tell people all the time, is like the reason why they needed a book and had to write that shit down is because they was some wicked ass people. Like that's why you have to write stuff down like that to remind people what they're not supposed to be doing.
Man, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna let you do that though. You can't say whoever wrote whatever down was wicked people. I cannot let you get away with saying that because we don't know what kind of people they were.
It's a written account of them. It's a written account. It's a written account of those people being wicked.
It's not true. There's a written account.
Your interpretation of whatever you read. But I don't.
So if the book's saying that they worship the Most High God, and then the Most High God gave them these commandments, and then they broke those commandments, by definition, they're wicked.
But it doesn't. Even if they broke the commandments that you know, they probably was not worshiping the same deity that your ancestors was worshiping. You can't say.
But it's not a question about my ancestors, brother. It's not a question about my ancestors. It's about the habits of the people that's in the story. In the story, the people were wicked. In the story, the people constantly went against their patron God. In the story, they married. In the story, they married outside of the laws and commandments of their own divine creed. And within their own story, they created idols. Within their own story, they did all of the same thing that all the other nations that were called wicked, they've done it too. So to say that they're not wicked is to be completely oblivious of morality.
Everybody in the world was wicked, not just black people, and everybody was wicked, not just us. Everybody was
but
wicked.
everybody didn't get a book. Everybody didn't get a book wrote about them.
We never had a book neither to the Romans.
Brother, listen. We don't know what we did. We don't know what our ancestors did because it's not wrote, right? They shit is wrote in this book, codified in their doctrine. So it's a detailed account of what they did. We don't have to guess on what they did because it's wrote.
So let's get back.
It never changes.
Wrote by who? Who is it wrote by?
It don't matter. By themselves. They said Moses wrote the first 5, right? The other prophet. Listen to what I'm saying. The other prophets and stuff, they supposedly has subscribed portions of it too, right? And then you had other eyewitnesses that supposedly had subscribed things too. So it was written because those people in that time needed those type of laws, right? You don't tell a person not to steal unless it's people stealing. You don't tell nobody to kill unless people killing. You don't tell people to stop not to sleep with other people's wives unless that's the type of stuff that's happening.
Let me say this one thing though. When it comes to that, what you just saying, you don't need to tell people this and that. Why do God, right? If you don't, what you're saying is, we needed the book and we needed these type of
not we.
Man, hold on.
Let me jump in here and ask a question. Genesis, you're playing that from her channel or your channel?
My channel.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to have any issues with anything like that. Okay, just making sure. All right, go ahead, everyone.
But we're talking about the book and everything in the written language. So what are we pretty much arguing here? We're arguing that once it got written, it was written for people that were going against.
No one's arguing. What I'm saying is, you can't say why. The reason I came on here because he said the people who said whatever they was wicked people, and everybody in the world was wicked, not just them. Everybody was wicked. Everybody was doing things to make their civilization and their tribe advance higher than the next.
Yeah, but those people does not have a book codified in canon that is spread all around the world for world domination. All of those other people not doing that. You know a tree by the fruit it bears, brother. That's what the book says. You know a tree by the fruit it bears. And if the only thing that they have managed to do is lie, steal, kill, and corrupt, these are the fruits of their labor. Lie, steal, kill, and corrupt to the point where their own God. Hold on, brother. To the point where their own gods scattered them to the winds. Not man, not other people. Their own gods cast them to the winds.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know.
Hold up. Let's take this away from religion, okay? And let's deal with history. So we could look at history, okay? And you could look at, I think it was Ramses the Fourth, who said that they called them Amu, the people, the foreigners. He said that these people cannot be trusted. They're evil. Do not let them back into the country. And what he meant was do not let them back into Kemet. So this has nothing to do with religion. He was judging them on their character and their behavior. And the brother, what's his name? Mata Karinga wrote a whole book called Mayat, where he goes through, he shows you their stories and they're telling you about the behavior of the foreigners, these Amu people that's coming into the country and causing all this destruction. So it's not about religion at this point. It's just about a historical fact of their behavior and how they act. So we're not talking about, a religious stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this is historical facts of their behavior and how African people behave, Black people behave was totally different. Okay. And so but our whole conversation right here is about spirituality. We're supposed to be talking about African spirituality and why it's not, witchcraft. So
that's why I jumped in. I'm sorry, but that's why I jumped in and said, when he said, oh, they were wicked people, because even if you worship voodoo, if you worship the Aruba culture, any culture you worship that's outside of Christianity, they're gonna demonize it as
brother. Devil. I'm not even talking about Yoruba people. I'm talking about the people who got a book.
I'm not talking about Yoruba. I'm talking about all of, not just Yoruba. I'm talking about voodoo.
Okay, so brother, when I was making my statements, I was speaking in reference to the people of the book, not of Africans or what we doing, because we don't have a book. We don't have a book.
You're trying to keep us like a genie in a lamp in this little book. We're not.
No. I think you misunderstanding, brother.
Let's go outside of the book.
I think you misunderstanding me. Never mind, man. Go ahead, lean to your own understanding.
Hold on. We are celestial beings.
I'm not even a Bible advocate. I'm not even a Bible advocate.
Go off of a
I don't
book.
think you understanding what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to say is stop referencing anything about a book and talk about.
Brother, that's what the question was. The question was why we don't have a book. Why is it not written in the book? That's what we was talking about. This is context.
Okay. So the first couple of tablets they found was what? The Dead Sea
Brother, are you gonna deal with the fact that we were talking about why wasn't it wrote in the book, which is the reason why I bought the book up in the first place? Deal with that part first.
The reason you brought the book up is because you're trying to say that other people from other cultures were worshiping demonic entities. And
I never used the word demonic. I never use those words.
You never said that, but I know you. Come on, man. Stop playing.
Hey,
man.
hold on. Let's get this back under control. So I think that what he said is that the reason why
summer jamming. Who is summer jamming? Don't summer jam. I said that.
Nope, nobody's summer jamming.
What's summer jam?
Somebody did in the background, but go ahead.
What does that mean?
I didn't make anybody's picture really big, so.
No, summer jamming means don't put the comments on the screen unless don't do it. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what I was saying is that so that's the main thing, is that when we talk about oral tradition versus a written tradition,
right.
It's not about that one is even worse than the other. But I do believe that things get lost when you write things down. You know, people get to determine what they want to leave out of things.
Yes,
You know, they want to take away books and not only show you this group's of books and don't show you the rest of them. They could do that. They could determine whether they're going to include leave out certain verses into it. So, you know, who determines if you have a scripture that's 4 days long to read, to sing, actually 4 days long, you know, day and night to sing that for 4 days. How many pages do you think that would be? And how long do you think who is going to write all that down? And how do you make sure that you can maintain that and make sure you don't what's it called? Now you
mess it up.
Well, you got to think the brilliant part about putting it in song form, right, is because of how easy it is to retain information that is in song form. So when we all get to singing the same song, the person that's saying the wrong words is going to stick out like a sore thumb. You understand what I'm saying? So it forces you to have to stay within that, within that cadence, within that rhythm, within that frequency. Whereas in the book, I could just sit here and just interpret the book however I like. Or whoever owns the book or controls the book can give you interpretations, however that is.
So, but let me just say this: a lot of time, and this is actually what happened in this whole live stream that we're here with Naphtali, is that people were saying, "Well, when was the first written version of it?" Well, when was the written? Well, it wasn't. And so then they actually minimized it by saying, "Oh, okay. Well, then if it was only written down from this point, then and that's the only time
it's invalid."
Right.
So that is not true, because the bottom line is that when you write things down, it leaves room for error. Versus
and that's the whole thing, right?
Both systems got their flaws to it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that one is superior than the other, because clearly writing or keeping a historical documentation of events is great, right? Because you can't always remember everything. The human brain deteriorates over time, right? So you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, when you remember things for a long time, details can become obscured. So both methods have their positives and negatives. It's just when you singing, right? And we all know this song. You can't add words because you're gonna throw the harmony. You're gonna throw the harmony out.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm gonna get yelled at for that. Not because I don't want you to. It just don't.
No,
excuse me. I didn't mean to interrupt. But
sorry about that.
Listen, let me say this about the people over there. I'm gonna address Naphtali. She's very limited in her understanding. She's learning, but when it comes in her understanding about this topic, and then even about the Bible, she's very intelligent, but she says a lot of things that are not correct, and because she doesn't know. So this is for her. If she listens, every time I do this, she goes and she studies it, and then she does know. Everything was oral at first, including especially Abrahamic religion. They didn't have writings at first. They had oral traditions. And if she loves Jesus, she's a Christian. If you want to prove the historicity of Christ, you're going to have to refer to those creeds, which were oral only. There's no writing. So just saying that. I just came in here. I stepped away for a minute, but no Torah was written down initially.
No.
These were all spoken word, and they were all passed around orally.
Like all the other indigenous people.
Yes. Hey, but guess what though? The whole reason the whole thing came about is because
excuse me. There's somebody in the chat. Real quick, I gotta address somebody in the chat. Enoch may have been a scribe. That doesn't. Enoch came way after the religion was established, so to speak. Enoch wasn't around, according to the story. Whether you believe it's real or not, according to the story, Moses was in the Exodus, and that's when he wrote everything down. Those people existed way before Moses. If you know your Bible, nothing was written down. They were using oral tradition. Okay, all right. Thank you.
So let me finish playing a little bit more so we can get some more context of what we're talking about here.
I just want to add this, but there are scriptures in the Old Testament where they talk about reading, reading from books. So I just want to point that out. But yeah, it was most definitely oral traditions.
Is that what she was saying, Genesis? Is that it's not written down, so it doesn't hold weight?
Right. Like what?
That's what they say to us about Ifa.
Talking about
can't say that.
Yeah, it was crazy. You should have heard it. It was crazy.
That's what people say about Ifa and like voodoo, because it's an oral tradition, so it wasn't wrote down until like now, like into modern time. So they try to make it seem like because it's not wrote down and it's not coming from antiquity, that it doesn't have some type of validity to it, when the oral tradition's been around longer than most nations.
You got it.
Thank you.
You got it.
I want to let Ngola get in here real quick. Let Ngola come in because he has some knowledge on this, and then I'm gonna hand the mic back to Genesis. Ngola, what do you want to add?
No, I haven't even heard any of the conversation. I'll just tell the sister, like, be mindful of who you waste. I'm not going to say who you spend your time just engaging in these conversations, because the majority of the people that are coming from, I would say, Abrahamic faiths, they're not being objective, like, and they really don't want to learn. So I just be mindful of that. Which you know that already though, a lot of times. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I'll just let everybody else talk.
That's a great point, because I kind of, like I said to her, I didn't know she was going over there. I would have saved her some time, because our sister Naphtali she says she's Hebrew, and I'm saying this to you, Naphtali, again, this isn't a diss, but you still are locked in a lot of Christianity, Naphtali, because you still believe that a woman came out of a man's rib. You think that you have to follow everything that is literally written without using that feminine divine knowledge that you have within you. So stop letting these men bust your head open with nonsense and pulling sisters over there, knowing you don't give a damn about voodoo, telling the sister that you just wanted to hear about it. I don't subscribe to it, but it's a teaching that people need to hear about. So when she went over there, and Golo is absolutely right, she brought her over there to try to humiliate her, make her feel like she's evil. But she said, oh no, come on over here, sister. I want to really talk to you. No, you didn't. And that's why she's over here, and she's going to continue explaining. I want you to get back to talking about how the Satanism that they tried to pin on you, and the you're going to burn in hell that they try to pin on you. Because I'm gonna tell these people that follow the Torah, you do the same thing that people do in voodoo, but you do it you worship a different God, so to speak. I'm saying that respectfully. You pray to spirits. You put curses out. That's in the Bible. God kills people takes blood to take away sin. So stop trying to make people. Stop trying to, if you really are Christian, you would have done it in a Christian way and not try to lure her over there so she could be a laughingstock around men who don't really give a damn about you as a woman, Naphtali. They don't. Let you step out of line for what they want. You're going to be a whore and a witch, just like they think the rest of us are that don't follow them. Okay? So back to the sister. I just want to point that out. It's wrong. Back to the sister, and I'm going to let her explain how voodoo is not burnt, satanic, and African spirituality isn't. You're going to burn in hell automatically. And then Naphtali, you want to act like you're African. You want to talk about how African you are. Shame on you. Go ahead, Genesis.
All right, I'm just gonna play a little bit more of this recording so you guys can hear how the questions were and stuff. So let's go. That you or something like on that level, it will tell you what you need to do. It's a diagnostic tool to tell me, okay, listen, something might be coming up, and this is what you probably need to do to like for instance, if you go to the doctor might say, listen, looks right here, like you have a cancer. Here's medicine to either stave it off, or you might need to do something to like fix it. These are the Odu Ifa is a diagnostic tool. It is not a tool of trying to predict future events. What it is a diagnostic tool of your current situation, and based on that, It reads the person in that situation at that moment, and then it tells you, okay, this is what's happening, this is what triggered that, and this is how you fix it. So that's it. So a doctor can't tell you that you're going to die from cancer in the future. What it will tell you is that you have cancer. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that what people are misunderstanding is that they're thinking that the E5 system is a sorcery tool that is going to tell you, you listen, 10 years down the line, you're going to be a billionaire. That's not what E5 is. E5 is, all right, when I read you right now, this is what your current situation is, and this could lead to this. So this is what you have to do to not run into a problem. You know,
it didn't work. But according to you, it didn't work. I mean, look at it. We're now.
No, you're not listening. No, you're not.
I am listening.
No, you're not, because if you were, it's not going to predict the outcome. No, listen. If I tell you, listen. If I tell you you have cancer, right? All right. If I say, listen, you have cancer, right? It's up to you to do something to stop cancer.
Then why aren't they doing anything? Would they have? If you have this power,
because we're human beings. Because we're still human beings.
No, but
you understand?
With divination,
you're missing it. You're missing
it. I think the misunderstanding comes. It's not a power. It's not a magic. It's not a magic power. You're looking at it in the wrong way. You should be looking at it as a systematic tool of probability.
It's not a tool, because the thing is, if it was such a tool, people over there in Nigeria wouldn't be suffering right now. If it was such a tool,
it's not a genie in the bottle. It's not a power.
No,
all right. It's very difficult to even listen back to it.
Yeah, it's like kind of hard to like even go through it again. Just you know what I'm saying? Because it's like
we're getting re-traumatized.
Like I straight feel it again, all over again. It's like I thought I put it in a way.
I'm gonna take some blood pressure medication.
You know what I'm saying? I thought I put it in a way where I know she gonna get it now, right? It's a systematic tool of probability, right? If you do this, this could happen. If you don't do this, this could happen. You know, it's probability. Hey, maybe you ought to look into this. Have you ever thought about this? It's a tool of diagnostic. It's a diagnostic tool. That's what it is.
But
no matter how many times we tried to explain that, it's like,
man,
she's stuck on it being, you're getting this, there's a spirit involved.
Right. It's like, oh yeah, the spirits are telling you the spirit, and then that's when I got into like, okay, well then you need to go into like what your definition of spirit is, because they keep trying to tell you that these spirits are forces. They're really forces. They're elemental forces, and they keep telling you that. So when you say they're spirits, what do you mean by spirit? Because forces, the electromagnetism is a force. So like, I mean, like when you say spirit, what do you mean? So I totally understand. It's frequency. Every person got their own vibration. Every situation, me being here, you being there, just because we in close proximity of each other, both for our energy bodies are connecting with each other, so they kind of like phase and harmonize with each other, and so the cards is in your favor, or you know whatever.
Yeah, when I've engaged in these conversations with people that subscribe to or believe in Abrahamic religions, they just don't have the ability. I can't categorically say all. Most of them don't have the ability to observe things and analyze things outside of their religious framework. That's why it's so hard, because they're not going to be able to understand the concepts. And what the sister was saying in regards to people in Nigeria using Isheshe or Ifa as a divination, and it's not working. I mean, everybody uses that on the inverse with Christianity and Islam. If you look at the state of our people before, I mean, since we've had these religions, we've gotten exponentially worse. So I don't understand how she rationalizes that, not in the inverse.
Worse.
Not to mention, so many people, rather what denomination they are. You know what I'm saying? They pray for peace and all of these other things. You pray for all those things, and they never come true. I mean, we're about to have another world war. Imagine how many people prayed in World War I not to ever have another world war.
But doesn't the Bible predict the future?
Oh yeah. And it got prophets in it. Look, and that's the funny thing, that it actually got prophets, which are psychics, in there telling you, predicting the future, and then it talks against soothsayers and people who predict the future, but yet they got prophets that do it, and then they even got books dedicated to it.
So you're saying that we're saying that divination does not necessarily, it is not predicting the future. It's telling you it is a diagnostic tool. All right, and you're saying, well, if it's a diagnostic tool, then you guys should be in a better place. When you have a Bible that predicts the future, that tells you what's going to happen, and you're still in a bad place. So you have a predictive tool that's telling you what's about to go down, and we still ended up there. So
I mean, if you think about it, the Bible is also a diagnostic tool. If you think about it, right? It's also based on probability, but it's just not multiple possibilities like Ifa. Ifa is very complex, but the Bible is like it's either this or it's that, right? So it's like it's almost kind of the same thing if you really think about it. It's in book form. It's a book. And I mean, like, what's the difference in you calling out a book, chapter, verse, or us calling out an Odu? It's the same thing.
Okay, so let's play a little bit more of this.
All right, let's try.
I have to take my blood pressure medication, but it's okay.
It's nothing. It's
hold on. Hey, let me go to the doctor, and the doctor tells you that you have high blood pressure. Okay.
Genesis, I need to talk to you about this. I don't want to play her shit all the way through this whole stream. Excuse my language. I don't want to play her.
No cussing.
Yeah, my grandmother said shit is her password into heaven.
Well, I was trying to give some of the points that she was making on the thing. I wasn't going to play it all the way through, but I was trying to.
Yeah. So, how much more do you have to show of it? Because I want to just keep it limited, just in case. You know, I know she doesn't. I assume, I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind if we use her footage, seeing that she does use people's footage, especially stuff from Sonetter's channel. But just, I haven't actually officially asked her. So
no, I'm not directly attacking her.
Yeah, but
and
I'm on it.
Fair use, and it is fair use.
I'm on it. I'm on it, and Sister Genesis is on it. So it's.
I understand that, sir. I agree with you, but I'm talking about YouTube politics. I side with you on that, but just to be on the safe side, because I don't want to have to cut this part of Genesis stream out. And
that child is aware that we're playing this video. So
what? No, that's not the issue.
No, she said YouTube. She talking about.
Let's
YouTube.
keep it tight. Yeah, let's keep it tight.
Yeah, this is
for your show, not for me. I'm saying I don't want to have to edit it out if something does come up. Like, just
it shouldn't come
get
up.
what you need, and then let's keep it.
Right.
Go ahead. You get what I'm talking about, right? I mean,
the only way it would come up is if I hit the button.
I just don't want to be running her whole thing through your whole stream.
Right. No, we're not.
In case I have to edit it out.
Hit the certain part. So. Let me just move past her, and let me just actually let me do something else that has something more to do with what we believe. Okay. Now this is actually a babalawo, because one thing that she said when we were on the thing was, hey, well, you didn't bring up a babalawo to talk, and so I did speak to a baba, and his name is Awo Falakun. Okay, he's a Olakun babalawo. And I have several videos with him, and we're gonna be doing this on he actually has we're doing an entire thing. We're gonna basically be teaching people how to do divination. So that's gonna be something in the future that we're gonna be doing. So just FYI. So
Oh, wait a minute. Is this recent?
This was today. Basically,
look at you. Yeah, I like your hair. It looks good. I like your hair, Genesis.
Thank you.
Looks pretty. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Says this, and when that verse comes out, this is what the solution is. So me being a software engineer, I look at it kind of like in that way, that it's pretty much the word remember.
We need to back up. Listen, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm glad to be here, but there are certain concepts that are causing us confusion. Okay. So let's address that one. And I don't say that because you're wrong. In some ways, I agree with that. But let's be more precise in our presentation of those ideas. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that an Ifa priest in the diaspora, people say they don't go into possession. You know why they say that?
That the priests don't go in, the Ifa priests don't go into possession.
You heard that?
So babalawos do not go into possession. Why do you
That's
say that?
the common understanding of diaspora. And the reason people say that is because they're mistaken. That's wrong. It's not even remotely true. In Africa, the whole point of being an Ifa priest is to be possessed by the spirit of Elah. Elah from the Elysian Allah, meaning the light, the spirit of light. What Ifa teaches, you know, when you went to school, you were taught that you had 5 senses, and everybody goes, ooh, 5 senses, far out. Ifa and Egypt and most of Africa teaches that we have 256 senses. And each of those sentences represents a stream of consciousness connected to the source of creation. And when we do divination with Ifa, we are identifying one of those streams of consciousness and connecting to it so we can access that fragment of that stream of consciousness that's relevant to the problem solving of the issue at hand. So let me explain that in a little more detail. Odus of Ifa is a 3-dimensional representation of a 2-dimensional energy pattern. Excuse me. It's a 2-dimensional representation of a 3-dimensional energy pattern. So the energy pattern represented by Ifa is called a Merkaba. You know Merkaba? You know?
Yeah, Merkaba, yeah.
Merkaba is 2 3-sided pyramids inside a torsion sphere. So we're going to have to get some of Baba's famous ridiculous drawings to explain all that. All right. This is a torsion sphere. It's a sphere with an opening on the top and an opening on the bottom. Called the torsion sphere.
That's also, when you look at the Opele, it has those 2 dots, like never mind. When it's strung together, it has that.
Yeah, sort of. But these dots, for the purposes of the energy pattern, are holes.
Right.
Through which energy flows.
Huh.
You with me?
Yeah.
So, the basic energy pattern of the Merkaba.
He's gonna break down the Odu, and if he draws this and y'all don't understand what's going on after this, I don't know what to say. he's about to break it down in picture format.
It's 2 3-sided pyramids. So this is one. And this is a terrible drawing, but that's 2. All right, can you see that? Yeah. 3-sided pyramid, 3-sided pyramid. So watch, let's do the math. How many points of contact between a 3-sided pyramid and the torsion sphere?
6. Oh wait, 6 points of contact. Did he say?
4, 3 at the base and 1 at the apex.
Oh, okay.
So
that's weird. I would think. So, wait, pause it for me. Pause it. I know he's explaining, but let me ask you a question. Wouldn't it be 6 though?
Yes.
If it's 3-dimensional.
Yeah, well, I think he's talking about just one triangle and not. I don't. It would be
because then if he's talking about 2-dimensional, then it can't be 3-sided.
No, he's saying 3-dimensional. So the sphere is 3-dimensional. So it's the triangle. It's a triangle. What's that kind of a triangle with like a 3-dimensional triangle?
A 3-dimensional triangle, yeah. Okay.
So it would be 1 hitting one side of the circle, 2 hitting another side, 3 hitting another side, and 1 at the top.
Oh, he's saying on that one triangle, not that image he drew.
Right. So
okay, got it.
One triangle has 4 points. It's hitting in
4 points. Got it.
And
okay,
both those triangles are separate, one equaling one thing and one equaling something else.
So in a 4, yes, got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, he's talking in reference to a 3-sided pyramid.
Okay, yeah, I thought he meant that entire thing he drew. But go ahead.
So this is how he's actually explaining to you what Odu is. This is what it all is boils down. Let's go.
Right leg of Odu Ifa. This pyramid is represented by the left leg of Ifa. All right, so watch.
So the pyramid facing up is the right hand of Ifa. The lower one, the pointing down, is the right, left and right. So
He's pointing out as God of light, light of celestial magnetism. That's
Each
what he's
of these
talking
points
about.
of contact with the sphere is a portal that might be opened or closed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the upper pyramid, if a portal is open, what do? We mark one line on the Ifa tray. If the portal is closed, we mark two lines on the Ifa tray.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in simple terms, there are 256 different combinations of open and closed portals in a Merkaba. You understand what I said?
Yeah. Yes.
You can picture that?
Yeah.
If we make all the combinations, 16 on the top, 16 on the bottom, 16 times 16 is 256. We have 256 different combinations of geometric patterns. That's the same pattern that makes up what Western academic plasma physicists call subatomic particles. Subatomic particles.
And I was saying that that chain looks similar to that torsion sphere that you were showing.
It is, but you're jumping ahead of me. Let's.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Look up, that's right. Look up Merkaba, images of Merkaba. Let's start there. Show a picture of that.
All right. So just to stop it right there, because we can just discuss that right now. So when we're talking about, are we contacting a spirit? Are we contacting a spirit? No, as you can see, it's a deeper science, and this is going into geometry. It's going into physics. It's going into way more deeper.
I want to say a couple of things right now, because on some real shit though. I mean, excuse my language. I'm sorry. On some real intellectuals will understand where I'm coming from. If you don't, then you will never know what's going on. She just had a whole presentation up here, right? White boy up here saying this and that. She said, "Oh yeah, he know about Ogun. Man, he don't know about no. He don't know. He wasn't. His ancestors wasn't even living when Ogun was created. So how can he tell us, right, about Ogun? But not only that though. It's another thing that she failed to realize. And Queen, I love you because you. I don't know no women, the par, other women too. Y'all research, y'all understand things. You very intellectual. Don't let no outside source tell us about our origins and where we come from. You can't do that. That's not research. When HOK, when the Paul and Sanetta say we want the hardest hitters over here, they don't want no. You bringing this. I'm just being real. You bringing this Cro-Magnon Neanderthal.
Hold on.
I'm gonna be respectable. You bringing this Cro-Magnon Neanderthal to the platform and trying to convince us that he's speaking facts. Man, that nigga. Excuse me. That Neanderthal don't know what he's talking about.
Why are you calling him a Neanderthal?
but that's called Aham, brother. You got to show and prove that what he's saying isn't
that
so.
Man ain't.
Let's do this, DJ.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things our ancestors said.
Let's keep it to where. Just give me a minute. Let's not let our emotions get involved. I'm sure everybody was triggered. I know everybody was. You're the one speaking it.
I was triggered though.
I'm just trying to say this though. Can I say this? Hey, let's do this though. Let's not attack the person. Let's look at his information.
No. Okay.
So let's go ahead. So talk about the information.
Okay. His information was he's trying to convince multiple.
No, he is not talking about you, no saint.
No. He's trying to convince multiple black people that he know what he's talking about when it comes to the culture of us. No, you can't do that. You're cheating. You're cheating. That I cannot tell Roman about Roman. I can't. You're cheating, bro.
I can. I can get in here and talk about Roman and Greek.
For these people that read,
hey, Nepal.
Bringing white scholars
Hold
into the
on.
room. What are you talking
Let's
about?
not focus on this race, please. Let's move.
I just don't want us to be overly embellished and overly thinking about what he just said.
Why
thinking that's true and facts when it's so much deeper than that, though.
Of course, it's deeper than that. But the thing, okay, well, how is it deeper than that? Then what is the deeper thing then? If you're going to say that he's not telling the truth,
I'm Africa, black people, the Bible. When it comes to the text, when it comes to certain belief systems, we are the masterminds of it all.
Yeah, but he didn't mention none of that. He didn't mention none of that.
Wait,
I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking. Let me
what we doing?
Let's move around the panel. Let's move around the panel. Genesis, give me 1 second.
have a color, first of all.
Right. Okay. Hold that thought.
I ain't saying no
perfect statement. Now,
I'm going on mute.
Let me go to. I'm gonna go. I hear everybody wants to get in here. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna start with Ngolo about the information, and then I want to get to Hercules, the brother Mansa Hercules, and then go to my brother. I don't know his name, unfortunately. What's your name? Who? Laurel. Okay, so Ngolo, the information he presented. From what you know about Ifa and African spirituality, please comment on that.
I'm based upon what I've been told by direct Yanni Faz and Baba Lawos. I mean, what he presented is more conceptual. I've heard it before. I mean, that'd be people's perception of it. How theoretically how they break it down. I mean, I can't object it.
Was he on at least the right track, or was it complete? So you're saying yes, it fits into what you know.
I've seen people break it down that way. I can't confirm or deny that to be 100 because it's different. Like it's not really a stringent thing. That's why it's hard to really pinpoint like as far as like correctness and incorrectness because it's not. It really depends. But so much recent stuff has been mixed into it and implemented. It's hard to really shelf out. To me, I really if people that don't have a command of the Yoruba language like Oyo, Ijebo, Abi, Okuta, I really don't give them much validity. If you can't directly speak the language, that's what. And even when it comes to really understanding the language, that's why I spend so much time learning the language, because even with when it comes to understanding the concepts, in my opinion, with any spiritual system you try to follow, when it comes even the ones that are from the Levant, if you don't have an understanding or command of the language, you're not going to really understand the concepts of what's being portrayed.
Right. That's a great point. I just want to say this, and I'm going to pass the mic to Genesis, and then we got to get to the rest of the panelists. What he said, in contrast to what the brother came in, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but the brother with the locks. Both, if you focus on that part, that does he have a command of the language? Does he have a command of even the culture? Does, when we move away from just phenotype, then it's more valid. You get what I'm saying? So I appreciate you bringing that up. I want to go to Genesis, and then Genesis, please remember that we want to get to the other panelists, and they want to add in.
Before you go to Genesis, Nepal, you wrong, because I'm not the brother with the locks. My name is the Jet Sanu. God damn.
I'm sorry, my friend, brother, and you're right. I couldn't see your name. That's why I used your looks.
It's the Jet, mama.
But you see the learning lesson, the depth. I used your looks, and you're like, don't use my looks.
Yeah, I don't like
that. Same with the guy that was speaking. He was phenotypically white, but did he have
the white boy?
Brother. But did you hear what Ngolo took it deeper? He said, I don't care about so much. Okay, you're white, but you don't know the language. You don't know the culture. Those are things that stand out.
How can you tell me about
anyway, you don't get what I'm saying.
But he does know the language.
You're actually saying what he said, but he said it in a more intelligent.
I'm finna mute out, y'all. Y'all.
Guess what? When people say they're gonna mute out, that's hilarious to me. Just
why you
out.
Everybody finna try to like attack me, and all I'm saying is
I'm not attacking
the white boy has no validity in this black conversation.
Okay,
so if you bring up a source,
I'm gonna
get the
point. I'm gonna put everybody on mute. Listen, brother. Ngolo said it more articulately and in a more intelligent way and a more valid way, and more it stands against a lot more than you just saying he's a white boy. He's saying the same thing in essence that you're saying, but he's giving a valid reason beyond just saying his race.
Like that. I can't.
I know that's why I said you're not doing it that way.
I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm learning through you,
brother, and you're good.
I'm learning.
You're cool.
I'm learning, Nepal. All right, I'm your understudy, please. Can I be your understudy?
Okay. All right. You are my understudy, and you are everybody's understudy right now because I'm learning too. So thank you. Let's go to this. Thank you, brother. Let's go to Genesis, and then we're going to move on to the other two panelists who want to add in. Thank you. Genesis, go ahead.
I just think it's interesting how a lot of people will say something about a white scholar, but a lot of us will quote white scholars in our debates. We'll draw from Britannicas and books written by white people. But then when I have a white scholar sitting up here that has definitely have command of the language, has been initiated into the Ifa tradition, has spent time in Africa, probably more than anybody on this panel, I would imagine. Because
the people in Africa
mute out.
They let him come to their religion.
I wasn't done.
Stop. Mute out, brother.
Oh, wow.
You said you were gonna mute out. Mute out. Mute out. Stop.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. And we're all friends here. So listen to your older brother and just keep it muted. And we're going to get back to you. Don't worry. Let's get back to Genesis. And then we got to get to Mansa.
You're worried about the color and the looks, but what about what he said? Are you talking about?
Let's talk about what he said, Genesis.
The information that he's bringing to the table, what he's discussing is how the actual, the Odu, the actual Opon Ifa, what Ifa is and how it comes upon, how the Babalawo comes upon his information that is based on portals. It's not a spirit, and so if he's able to explain it in a way that you can understand it, who cares what color he is and whether he's white or black? If he has the knowledge that's able to break it down, that this is based on a three-dimensional geometrical patterns and shapes and how things come into existence, and he's able to explain it in a way that, and actually a lot of this stuff is actually hidden information that people don't even explain to anybody. So the fact that he's willing to come out and teach people this is a really big deal. So he's putting himself on the line by even doing this. So I don't know. It's like people could focus on color and all this other stuff, but that's very low level, and that's getting on a lower vibration than what I thought this conversation was going to get into.
No, but I have to rebuttal on that though. Y'all gotta let me talk though. I'm not judging that man because he's white. That's not what I'm doing. People gotta calm down. Stop being so sensitive. I'm not judging him because he's a white man talking about black people. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, how you gonna tell the Ifa traditions, culture, religion, structure. That didn't come from no interpretation from anybody else outside of them. You can't do that. He could have been. You say he was. They put him on with the. You blood now, nigga. You suwu. Yeah, but you not really like. Come on, dog. Stop it. Hey, guess what though? I'm gonna say this, and if I mute out again. My favorite teacher is Seti, right? Everybody hated Seti, but Seti was right though about a couple of things. Not everything, but he was right about a couple of things. But guess what though?
Seti? Everybody didn't hate Seti.
No. But no. What I'm saying is, what she's saying about this white boy, and y'all trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm against him because he's white. No, it's not about
Neanderthal.
Because yes, a Neanderthal. Because guess what? When the Yoruba culture and all the other African culture was starting up, he wasn't even around. His peoples wasn't even in the facility. You can't.
Okay, brother.
I wasn't even around.
Genesis, I gotta get to the other panelists. We're not gonna focus on this man's race for the rest of your show. So, point taken by both sides. But as I said, Ngolo said it best. It's not. You're not required to be African to practice the spiritualism, which Genesis said. But you got to test. Genesis said it, and Ngolo didn't know. Genesis said he checks all those boxes. He's been to Africa. He's been around the culture. He knows the language. So enough of this. Mansa has been waiting patiently. I want to get him in, and then I want to go to my brother. And I won't try to say your name. I'm going to get it on the big screen. I can't see it on my phone. Go ahead, Mansa. Go ahead, Mansa. Thank you.
Hey. So yo, Dejet, yo, man, I know how you feel because I was in your situation when I was I guess about 19, about 20, when I got out of high school. I know how you feel.
I'm 35 years old, my brother. I'm 35 years old. I'm sorry to cut you off. 35 years old though. I'm not 19, 20, I'm 35 years old. Keep
okay,
on.
I'm just saying. I was in your situation when I was at 19 and 20. I was in your situation. So I'm not a novice on this topic. I've been doing this for a long time, brother. This is a good book as we talk about the subject of African spirituality and witchcraft. This is by Dr. Luyaka. It's a great, real great book. The guy you said Seti. I don't know who Seti. What's his full name?
His full name is Sarah. Hold on, Sarah Sudi.
No, you, sir,
okay.
My friend. No, sir, you hold on for a second, my friend. Hold on a second. Genesis, he's from the HOK. Genesis used to actually work with them, and Sonetta brought him out. He's Sarah Sudi said, you remember him, man. So if you think back, he did the debate with Pharaoh, and there's a big controversy. That's who he is. So continue, please, Mansa.
Okay. So I'm not new to this subject. I've been studying this for a long time. I know how you feel. One of the books, like I said, Dr. Luyaka, his book on the methodology of empirical study of witchcraft in Africa, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good, decent book. He has a lot of good books. I would definitely recommend Mariba
Hold
Ani.
it up again. I'm gonna put it on the big screen. Go ahead.
I definitely recommend. So this book, Dr. Luyaka, he has a lot of good books from an African-centered point of view, approaching the whole subject of spirituality. Mariba Ani, definitely, Mariba Ani. If you never read Mariba Ani Yurugu, you have to read this book, man. Period. All right, because she breaks down the whole thing about religion and how it's Eurocentric and whatever. She breaks it down. And then we have this book just came out. It came out last year. It just came out by Dr.
He's great.
Yeah, Yoruba Metaphysics. This is a good book. This is a great book. So I'm not a novice. I've been doing this for years. I understand how you feel when you see these white boys, you know what I'm saying? They coming in with this. It's like, yo, man, what the? And when I saw Sister Genesis, when she played, I saw this video before on I saw it on her channel, and I was like, man, why she got this white boy on this joint, yo? When we got people like Charles Finch, Dr. Finch, man, saying rest in peace. He's a great ancestor, great brother who gave us a lot of information. Brother James Smalls gave us a lot of information. They may not have been able to break down the mathematics and physics behind the concepts, but what the white guy, I'm sorry, Sister Genesis, what was the guy name that just did it? What was his name?
His name is Awo Falakun. So just
yes, okay, yes. Professor Smalls.
Where that name came from?
Professor Smalls recommended him. He was recommended by Professor Smalls. He was somebody, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, as myself looking into Ifa and Yoruba, he has a lot of books. He has a lot of books on Ifa and Yoruba, this white guy, because he's lived over there. He's trained and studied under them. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Ghana for like a year, but, you know, for me, as American, I was over there just partying and BSing around. You know what I'm saying?
You went over there as Ghana. Did you call yourself a Ghanaian?
No, I was over there just partying. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Hanging out. Right.
But
that's
the
what I'm
thing
saying.
is,
Like, we gotta stop this
hold up.
What? Stop
Hold
what?
up.
What do we have
The
to
thing
stop?
is that there are some white people who have some knowledge and information,
Yes.
and they're coming
A
forward.
little bit.
No. Stop. Stop it.
It's not a lot of them. It's not a lot of them that agree with us, but you do have some of them that agree with us, and we do have to take in what they say because they've done the research, whereas we, Black people, we haven't done the research ourselves. We haven't been over there and doing the research. My background is mathematics. So what we talk about Ifa in the 256 Odu, you know what I'm saying? Me as a mathematical person, I could see that. I could see it. We could verify this as being true, as being an actual reality, as being something that's, but we don't have a lot of Black people who have degrees in mathematics and physics that are looking into the sacred sciences of African spirituality. Hold up. We don't. The problem, one of the issues I think that we have is a lot of Black people, they get the degrees, and our elders have the degrees in history and archaeology, you know what I'm saying, and psychology, but they don't have degrees in the hard sciences. You know what I'm saying? Myself, I have my degree in mathematics. So when I look at the Ifa and I look at the system, it is an actual true system that's based on actual true mathematics and actual science. And so she brought up a video with the white guy who was verifying the information that correlates with modern science. You know what I'm saying? But it's already been there. It was already there. It's been there for centuries.
Way before he even said anything about it.
But no Black person has been able to connect the dots. And so he connected the dots. You shouldn't diss him for connecting the dots. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to diss him for connecting the dots. We were like, okay, you connected the dots, word, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And then we built.
How you gonna connect the dots before? How you gonna connect the dots before we connect the dots? Though we primordial. We are
you're
just
not connecting the dots.
people.
You're not connecting the dots, primordial or not.
No.
So we should be ashamed.
No.
Let me move on to Laurel. Laurel, are you done, Mansa? Give me a minute, Jet. You're gonna have to come in here and do some teachings on voodoo then. And do me a favor, try not to smoke on camera over here. We're trying to keep this up on the channel. YouTube watches. Don't vape. Just don't vape for me.
We need more.
Thank you, my friend.
We need more.
I mean, you can vape, but just not on camera. That's what I'm asking.
We need more our people into the hard sciences that can connect the dots with the spiritual realm and the physical realm, whereas he did. You know what I'm saying? So we can't. Don't knock him for just because he's a white boy. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at his work and let's bring it into the fold and say, okay, this is what he got. You know what I'm saying? Let's not knock him. You know what I'm saying?
So what did he say as a panel? We got Nepal, we got her right here, we got you, we got him on the side, we got me. What did we all get out of what he just said in that presentation? What he had?
Hold your thought, everybody, before you answer.
We can already know as a people.
Right.
People didn't talk. What did he say that was different than what they said?
You already said that. Please, that is my pet peeve when people ask the same question 5 times. I might do that too. So if I do it, shame on me. All right, let me hold that thought and that answer for him. Let's get to Laurel, and then people can answer your question later. They want to. Laurel, what did you want to add? Thank you, Manta. Thank you. Go ahead, Laurel.
So the thing is, like when you're dealing with African spirituality, one of the things you got to keep in mind is, especially if you follow Kemetic teachings, right? I have not turned from truth. So that means that you do not turn from truth. Truth is your ally. And it doesn't matter the face that truth comes from. And that is true all throughout Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So one of the things that he's talking about is one of the things that Naga is always talking about, which is God is light, light is electromagnetism, and the charge differential between negative and positive, positive, and neutral, that 3-party system. That same 3-party system that he's talking about is what he just showed you, a 3-sided triangle inside of another 3-sided triangle. That's what he's talking about. Particle physics, quantum physics is what he's actually talking about. And I understand exactly what he's talking about because I'm a person who actually studies quantum physics, and I just so happen to love and have an affinity for E5. You see what I'm saying? So I don't care if he was purple. What he's saying is actually resonating, because for you to understand energy, right? God, you want to understand God, you want to get closer to God, you know what I'm saying? You want to get closer to the divine, you're going to have to understand energy. And that's what energy is. And once you start understanding the fundamental of energy, not your concept, mental ideology of what energy is, what physical energy is and how it actually operates. Shapes, geometry is how energy flows through matter. You see what I'm saying? And that's what he's talking about. He's talking about different octaves and oscillations and different orbitals when it comes to, man, like what he's talking about is very deep, very heavy.
So what I want to say is,
Right.
what he said was it different than what Imhotep said, or was it different than what any of the pharaohs said when they wrote when they wrote on the Egyptian walls certain glyphs, certain messages, certain languages?
Well, you have to be specific.
Like you're saying, what he's saying is so superior to what.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh my goodness, brother! I really don't want to mute you out. I appreciate. You're gonna have to mute out for a second and let him finish.
I can't show you what Imhotep said because I don't have the.
No, not yet. No, you can't because you have to have order.
Okay,
he was talking. He waited a long time.
Yes. And now you got the mic again. I'm sorry.
It's cool. Just let him finish. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like cut it short. Like I said, that's one of the things that Naga teaches. God is light, light is electromagnetism. We push plasma cosmology because the entire universe is filled with plasma. What he was talking about was a plasmoid. When he showed you that picture of the circle with the 2 circles in it, that's a plasmoid. That's a torus field. You understand what I'm saying? As above, so below. You know what I'm saying? What he was talking about is straight esoteric, is straight up physics. It is the foundation of like reality. And I mean, yeah, some people do talk about it. Some people do, but to have a grasp and an understanding of physics, right, is to initially to know the essence of life, because that's what physics is all about: understanding life, understanding energy, and how energy operates within matter, space, and time. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. A lot of people try to become all extra spiritual about it when it's all based in this same energy, which is the electromagnetic force that give you the ability to think and have thoughts and consciousness and, you know, all of those things. That, you know, that's what that force is. So I'm gonna land my plane there.
Wow, I want to just say this before I pass the mic back to Genesis. I love what you talked about with the toroidal. You're talking about, you said torus field, but I know something about the magnetic field and like the resonance from the heart. I think it's toroidal field.
Yep,
Yeah,
right.
so that is something that is really deep, and we need to talk more about it because it's consciousness coming from other places in your body, essentially. When you talk about plasma, when you said everything is plasma, that's pretty deep. I'd say I didn't know that about voodoo, and I don't know anything about it except for what I learned from you guys. And so we have 4 out of 4 specialists, people who know this specific African spirituality. 3.5, because Angola was kind of, brother. I will just take you off. I don't want to do it, but I will. You're entertaining, but just let me get this out. The 4 people on the panel who know about African spirituality,
all of
that
them
are no. See, you ain't do. That's the problem right there. You don't get to include yourself just because you're black. They specialize in it. They study it. They read it. They got initiated in it. I don't, brother. Why? No. My point is, 3.5 of them. Angola gave him a 50%, but 3.5 out of 4 agreed with what he said. So let's focus on the information. So Mansa was saying something, and then I want to get the mic back to Genesis. Mansa, go ahead and add, do your response to that, and then can we get the mic back to Genesis, DJ? Go ahead, Mansa.
I was just saying, just hold up, man. Hold your questions, and then come with it. You know what I'm saying? Just hold up, brother. Just hold up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Sister Genesis.
All right, so I want to play a little bit more of what he said because he goes deeper into the whole thing, even breaking down sound, breaking down Fibonacci sequences, and all this stuff is in E5. So here's the thing: the reason why I'm bringing this is because when people say that E5 is witchcraft, they say that this is summoning evil spirits. But then when you get into it, which normally is hidden, it's never. The reason why you don't hear a lot of people and priests up here breaking it down like this is because it's normally kept a secret.
Right.
This is not stuff that people normally would break down on a public forum at all, period. No, they don't do that. This is the stuff that they talk about when they have their ceremonies. You know, when the person, the master of ceremonies, sits down and talks to the people and explains different things during the ceremony, you hear those other talkings and teachings. That is normally what's spoken of in private, in secret. But now it's being brought to the light for some reason. DJ Genesis wants to know about it. If wants it to be known, it doesn't want to be in the hidden anymore. So there we go.
Genesis, hold up. Can go ahead? Can DJ go ahead and ask us questions before you play the video so that way we can.
What question? Hold on, whoa. See what I'm saying? I'm in the background chilling. I ain't said nothing.
I know. Go ahead. What questions you have, brother?
I ain't got no. That woman was just speaking. Why would you stop her to talk about me? Why would you do it?
I just wanted to see if you had any questions.
No. I have nothing to say until that queen finishes her presentation, and then I come after her.
Okay, good. Okay.
Oh, going on mute.
The internal structure where the Merkaba is located. It generates a frequency. Frequency is sound. Right? Remember, you seem to be familiar with the Bible. In the beginning was the Word. Ifa says the same thing. But it doesn't mean the word. It means the frequency word.
The frequency.
So what Ifa is saying and what Ifa teaches and what Ifa paleoscience teaches, and on a different time we'll talk about the fact that I'm trained in physics at Caltech, the best physics school in the world, and the physics I learned from Ifa is better than what I learned at Caltech by a lot. All right, so the ancients understood physics, which is how they were able to build the pyramids. Hello. So the point is that the Merkaba generates 256 frequencies within an octave. If you're a musician, you know what an octave is. Middle C, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right?
Yep.
Okay, so solfege, that's called. It's called singing the intervals. Solfege was invented by ancient Egyptians. The mathematical structure of solfege is such that it makes a seashell pattern. In other words, do, re, mi is a whole step. Do, re, whole step, re, mi, whole step, mi, fa, half step. All right. So when the whole step becomes a half step, there's a bend in the force field of the frequency. All right. And this is a mathematical structure that occurs throughout creation, symbolized by the seashell in Ashe Obatala, which is a symbol of consciousness, right? It's called the golden mean or the Fibonacci curve in Western science. You with me? So,
right, Fibonacci sequence.
Yes, Fibonacci, right. So
you're saying sound itself is what made everything. Like the actual sound was what.
That's absolutely what I'm saying. Absolutely what I'm saying. And the sound, so there are
totally disagree with him on that.
256 pitches within an octave, which means the difference between odus in terms of the frequency is extremely subtle, almost possible in our conscious state to discern or hear, and useless as a tool. But when we get into altered states of consciousness, we automatically can identify the difference in the resonance because it has a different effect on our body, and our spirit is in tune to picking up those differences.
Comparison and see.
Did anybody have any comments on that?
I disagree.
Hey,
let's go around the panel.
Hold on. I'm first though. I'm first though.
Brother.
I'm first.
No. Who said? Why are you first? Why?
Because I was never on his side from the beginning.
No. Let me do this. I'm gonna go around the panel.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm gonna start with the brother Laurel, who hasn't spoken, in my opinion, being the host.
Yes,
and I'm co-hosting with Genesis, but let's go to Laurel and can you answer the sister's question? Do you agree or disagree, Laurel? And then we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next person after you. Quick. So go ahead.
I was just saying that I disagree with saying that sound created everything, because sound is mechanical. So sound has an origin. It has to come from something, right? And it has to travel through a medium in order to exist. So when you talk about frequency, frequency is vibration and oscillation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's sound. You see what I'm saying? But you can use sound because frequency does create sound. All sounds have frequency, but not all frequencies are sound. If that makes any sense.
Okay. Genesis, you want to say something back to that?
So I would say that just because we can't hear the sound does not mean that the sound does not exist. There's the sounds that cats and dogs can hear that are not even known to the human ear. There's frequencies that you can actually, wave patterns and this, that, the other, that you could use PEMF waves and different things that are based in sound that you can use to heal yourself, So I think that when we talk about sound, I think that we're just thinking about the sound that could be heard, but there are different frequencies of sound that can be heard. So
I'm talking about frequencies themselves, right? Because visible light is a frequency, radio waves is a frequency, gamma rays is a frequency, and none of those things are actually sound. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying sound itself is mechanical. It has to come from something. Something has to emanate it, right? But when it comes to the electromagnetic force, it's self-sustaining. It's self-sustaining. It's self-organizing. It's intelligent. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like we can't find a sound out in the universe that is independent on its own, where it operates independently. A sound operates independently on its own.
Hold on.
If I can just jump in here, let me just jump in for 1 second, okay? Because I did do a documentary on sound saying when we talk about existence, when you're talking in an existential sense, in this realm, sound would be what creates everything. I want to say that, but then he's right. When you say mechanical, isn't that interesting that you need a medium? You need something to come through it. So that is pretty much what the topic is about: possession, a medium, how to do this divination. So in the sense that where we exist in this material world, yes, sound would be paramount, right? But then we know that there's light that almost, if you look at it as, but light is the spirit that sound is, beneath. Or, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know anything about this particular religion, but I know from my study that when they do like sound and frequencies of sound, making images, it brings things into existence in a material world.
Shape.
Yeah, so that's where it is mechanical. That's where you need a medium. You need some, water or a solid something,
or
but
gas,
light,
or
yes, light goes through everything. It can just transcend, like he said. So it's interesting that it's like both. It's like you have the medium, that's the human being, that would be like the representation of the
antenna, like an antenna.
Yes,
of light.
And
like
then,
he said, Allah. He said that the Babalau is the representative of the light, and then through his sound and is able to interpret.
Yeah, that's science.
Sound
and right there, that's what Laurel's saying. Sound and light together, and that. So I just thought I might add to that. Thanks for letting me add that. Genesis. I think Mansa dropped off, unfortunately. Ngolo, are you still here?
And magnetism. You can't forget out divine feminine magnetism.
Oh yeah, magnetic would be an electromagnetic wave is light.
Yeah.
Right?
It is light.
Yeah, that's the frequency of light. Or
Nepal.
well, not the frequency of light, but how light functions.
Nepal.
You hit it on the head.
Nepal. I'm your understudy, right? So as your understudy, I'm not gonna let you agree with nothing nobody says, trying to quote unquote agree with the shit that man was just saying. No, you can't do that. You cannot do. You can't make it. Hold on.
You're gonna have to bring some information. Come on.
To the contrary. What is if he's wrong? What is the opposite?
You cannot bring your own interpretations of a Bible scripture or a chapter, or you can't do that.
We were literally talking about science just now. Let me get Mansa. You can go ahead, but you gotta say something where you can stay in the conversation. Now you're just outside the conversation.
Nepal. Man, you need to help me out then, because I know
I'm hearing you out. Go ahead. What is the issue? What do you think about the information, brother?
I'm not against the information. I love God, love Jesus. I love all the shit though.
They're not talking about Jesus right now.
But the whole thing is, you're not finna make it seem like, whatever written down, that's law. No, it's not.
Okay.
This cracker came to y'all and told. Oh my God, Nepal, go ahead.
Maybe this will help him understand, right? So when you're dealing with Ifa, right? Ifa is a binary system, right? It's a binary system. They literally formed the internet off of the binary system, off of Ifa. It's literally built into the frame network of all these smartphones and computers that we use on an everyday basis.
No. Colbert.
Don't interrupt him, please. Let him keep going, and then you can come in on your turn. We still have people waiting. I appreciate everybody. Go ahead, hit the like button, please, if you're enjoying this. Go ahead, finish Laurel, and then we move on to Mansa.
So Ifa is pivotal into understanding binary code and how computers process information. You know what I'm saying? So without that system, without understanding that system, without our ancient ancestors having that system, we might not have never had this technology called the internet. You see what I'm saying? So it's a great thing to be able to take something of our ancestors, right, and be able to translate it into something that's useful in 2026. You know what I'm saying? Right here, right now. So if you can use physics to understand voodoo and Ifa, that's an amazing thing, because now people who understand voodoo and Ifa to a great degree can translate scientific equations into Ifa and then create new vaccines, create new you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so many possibilities for the innovation that can come out of using this type of system. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just laying my plane, so I won't be long-winded.
All right,
Well,
thank you. Let's
all
get
I'm
to
saying is,
Mansa.
all I'm saying is, hey, Nepal, I love you, Nepal. I love the host. I love all y'all in here, though. But one thing I'm not gonna let y'all do is fall victim to a motherfucker tell y'all some lies. Not
You're
on
just
my
gonna
watch.
curse, right? Don't say the F word.
Which part is a lie?
All of it. And all of it. All of it.
Even the parts we agree with.
No,
I think
I don't
he's
give
not
none of it.
understanding right
You know
now.
why?
He's in
You know why? You know why I
la
don't
la
give
la
none
la
of it?
la land. Let's get this brother Mansa in here. And I
Wait.
don't want what you're smoking, but I do appreciate you being up here, brother. You need to
I'm not
lay
smoking nothing.
off a little bit.
I'm eating. You
Drink
know,
a cup of coffee. Just what the
I'm eating.
hell?
I'm not drinking. I'm eating chips.
Okay, got it. Mansa, please, what do you think about what Genesis, what we brought up about, the difference, sound and frequency and creation, and how he broke that down? What do you think?
So I'm looking at it. So I'm looking at it from the viewpoint of the ancestors. When they talk about the Creator spoke the universe into existence. When you spoke, that's already sound. And Laurel, I think Laurel or the brother, I forgot what's the brother name, RG, what's his name, RG Naga. They did a video. Where they showed that, you know what I'm saying, sound, the vibration of sound creates structure. You know what I'm saying? It creates structure. Just the speaking of sound, you speaking the universe into existence is one of the first things that the Creator did. And that's just from the African point of view, and that we find that in all the traditional systems, they say that the universe was brought into existence when the Creator, spoke, the universe into existence, whether it's Dogon, whether it's Ifa, whether it's the Kemet, or whether you're in Central Africa, where you're in the Congo. It's always this sound, this vibration of bringing a universe into existence. And then, saying to piggyback with the brother. So what the guy, my young brother D Jet is saying is
come on now.
We can't, like I said before, don't throw. The old saying is what? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a white person, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to neglect everything that they say. And we have this, there's information that they bring forth. When he talked about the 256 Odun, the 256 Odun is something that's real. It's not something that's just made up. It's arbitrary. It coincides with today's science. That's what when I'm saying you get into tensor calculus, you get into this binary system, and it's 250 Odun is what we call 2 to the 8th power. That's 256. That's the same thing as Clifford algebra. You get into 2 to the 8th power. It's Clifford algebra. That's the basis. That's just the base of Clifford algebra. You know what I'm saying? So it correlates to what we have, to what Western science have come up with to today of understanding the universe and try to describe the universe. Whereas our ancestors, they already had an understanding of the universe, and they didn't say Clifford algebra. They didn't say, 2 to the 8th power, but they had an understanding of coming to the same conclusions of the universe and how the universe was created and how the universe was formed. So we're not looking at post hoc rationalization or apophenia. This is something that we can conclude that our ancestors came up with mathematically, and you see Western science is coming up with it as well. So like I said, you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater, because a lot of our elders who've done the research, who've been looking at the research, they had to go off the research of what white people have done, and they had to correct it. Check out the Diop, corrected a lot of research that white people did. John Henry Clark corrected a lot of the research that white people did about Africa and ancient Egypt. Theophilo Binga corrected a lot of. So if I suggest that, I'm saying, if you never read their books, just watch their videos on YouTube. Diop, D-I-O-P, Obinga, O-B-A-N-G-A, and you will see that they corrected a lot of the research that white people lied about.
Hey, man, you sound like me, but you sound like me as in the version of no one. They already know when I come on the screens, I'm challenging everything. It's just my deliverance might not be on the top tier like the older cats. They come on here with good verbiage, good communication. They know how to articulate their words. That's cool, but I don't know how to do that yet. But what I do know how to do is no. But what I do know how to do is I know how to make my message clear, meaning the same message that Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Harriet Tubman, all them boys. Come on now. Harriet Tubman. Now, here we go. We talking about the Bible and God and Jesus, right? Here we go, y'all. So Harriet Tubman, right? She said her visions was God told her to do the work that God wanted her to do. Right or wrong, y'all? Yes or no? Yes or no?
But with all due respect, you monopolizing the conversation.
No. I'm going somewhere with the point.
I agree.
You don't want to accept.
You're not really saying much, and I don't mean to be rude, but you haven't brought anything to contradict.
Hold on.
I'm gonna just remove you. I'm gonna remove you if you just give me a second. I'll remove you for a second. There you go.
I think the brother has to read more. You got to read.
Yeah,
more,
and he's taking over the conversation though. He's bringing the level of intelligence down, and I'm not saying that in a mean way. When you don't know something, you don't try to dominate the conversation, and that is something we don't want to do. So I removed him. It was entertaining, but really, this is the information that's being presented is very intriguing. So we got to stop this. Everybody, we got to stop in 2026 thinking just because you're Black, you can condemn people who are knowing the information. And then just try to pulling our heartstrings and say we're Black and we shouldn't let anyone. Well, show us what the information that you have to refute it, and if not, let's get back to the conversation on the level that we wanted to be at. I'll take it back to Ngolo didn't get to speak. I don't think. What do you think about the information that she showed regarding sound and what I done forgot what the man said. I got to go back, and it was interesting. Genesis, can you refresh me and then let Ngolo, or do you remember what he said, Ngolo? Go ahead.
I remember what he said. Like my initial statements, I wasn't that my statements weren't directed towards him not knowing the language and not being familiar with the culture and not living there. My thing is just for me, as far as my understanding is concerned, until I've mastered the language at an expert level, I take everything that I hear people say that are not trusted Yanifi and Babalawo that I've actually come into contact with and that I know for a fact have a grasp on the culture. I can't really say it's incorrect or not correct. I mean, it's incorrect or correct because, well, a common theme I see a lot of people tend to retrofit certain concepts within the culture, and my goal is to really find the understanding of what the pre-colonial culture was without all the fluff, and that's really what I'm mining through now. It has nothing to do with him as an individual or anyone that comes and speaks. It's just really for my understanding.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Let's take it back to the guest who's also co-hosting. Genesis, what else would you like to share with us on this? And we have been going for about 2 hours. I do want you to focus, not just showing, this is interesting. I love this information, but
the reason why
I also want you to focus on what you're trying to show people about the witchcraft and the Satanism.
Yeah, so the whole reason why I am showing this is because he does a very great breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
He is an Awo, so, and he's been an Awo for over 40 years. He, like I said, he's been in Africa, as Mansa said. He James Smalls, who actually is a priest of Oya, recommended him and his books. He is an author. He's written several books on Ifa. So this is not just a fly by night person that just is white and then just started just talking about Ifa. No, he has time. He has research behind him. He's the person that has, went through the initiations to know what he's talking about. He actually has, he's initiated other people. So, yeah. So the reason why I want to get into it, because like I said, he breaks this down in a way, to me, that's a lot more simpler than a lot of other people have done, because of the fact that he brings in the quantum physics, he brings in the mathematics of it all. Because he actually studied physics. So I think like I said, I wanted to show it, because a lot of times when people get spooky dooky with it and woo and spiritual, it gets away from that. There's a core scientific thing of what this is. It's not so spooky. And when people have a misunderstanding what Ifa really is, it is a spiritual science. It is not just spookism and spirits and contacting spirits and possession. And that's what we got caught up on Naphtali's channel with, is only focusing on what they feel like that is against Christianity and whatever they believe. So let's go. I want to just play a little bit more, and then we'll leave it at that. But just so here we go.
Picking up those differences.
So
the language. Remember, I talked.
Let me go into the language.
When you break it down, it makes sense what it means. So
yeah.
Opon Ori means the spirit of the toe of consciousness, which makes no sense in English. But in Yoruba, the big toe is the point where consciousness connects to the memories of our ancestors. So the higher self is represented by our ancestral connection.
The toe or total of consciousness? Or the toe of consciousness?
No, the toe of our foot is our point of connection with the ancestors.
Is that also why they, in certain Egyptian things, they would always have one foot step forward?
That's absolutely, you got that right. And not only that, those statues, Egyptologists talk about, we're going to find the lost hall of record. Where's the lost hall of record? Have you heard that whining?
The lost hall of records, is that like similar to the what's it called? They have it in the Akashic records?
No, it's not. Well, sort of, but the lost hall of records is supposedly buried in Giza in Egypt, and nobody can find it. But that's because they're idiots. I'll tell them exactly where it is. All the records of all the wisdom of all of Egypt, going back, I believe, a couple 100,000 years, is stored in the granite statues with the left foot forward. That's an indicator that that statue is a memory bank for data. And the key to opening that memory bank, Miss Computer Expert, is you take the Ankh and you strike it against the granite statue, you go into an altered state, and you get the information from the statue.
Wow.
Now take a deep breath. I'm fixing to say something, which is why we make our Orishas out of stones, because they have the same function. The stones in our pots is a record of every interaction we've had with our Orisha from the point of initiation.
So that's a statue with the left foot forward. You can't.
That's exactly the one I'm talking about. And a guy named Christopher Dunn measured the right side and the left side of the face and found that it was accurate within 1/10,000th of an inch, which is impossible to do with handheld tools. Oh my goodness! So that's another mystery for another day. But
wait. We're not gonna sit for another day. No. We're not gonna sit for another day. We're gonna keep on the same topic. Don't switch it up.
It's all relative. It's all relative.
No. I hate when y'all do that.
Hold on. Stop. So first of all, let me ask you a question, Dejet, because
what's going on?
All right. Okay. Are you a priest in the Egyptian? Because I see your name, just Dejet.
Dejet. Do you know who Dejet is? Hey, do anybody in the chat know who Dejet is? That's the first question. Do any of y'all know who Dejet is? No, y'all don't. None of y'all know who Dejet is.
All right, break it down for us.
I'm saying yes. I was muted. Yes, some of us do. If you're talking about comedic,
who is Dejet?
Who is Dejet, or what is the jet?
What dynasty did he come up under?
Are you talking about the Kemetic Jed, the actual staff?
No. It's called the Jet. The Jet. What dynasty did he come under?
That's a European concept,
are you talking about like Wajet? I don't know. I'm not
No. Well, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know.
First dynasty.
Y'all don't know.
First dynasty. Now what?
No.
Let him explain.
Okay.
Please.
No, I don't want him to explain, because he's taking us to another place. Respectfully. Okay. I forgot what she was saying that was relevant. He's got some kind of magic, Puff the Magic Dragon's power that he erases my memory about what's important when he starts talking. And I let you back up because people in the audience said, let you back up, but please please say what you said before. I really forgot what you're saying, what the guy said.
So he basically is talking about how the statues in ancient Egypt, if you were to them, the people were talking about the actual library that they're looking for in Egypt that's got all the knowledge or whatever, that the actual library is actually in those statues. That if you were to hit those statues a certain way, then and go into an altered state, the knowledge would go into it would come upon you. So, and that's what they did some research into. Now here's the thing, because I guess they're using an Ankh, a certain type of an Ankh. Now, I don't know how true that is. This is a book that was written that he's talking about, that the study that this guy did. But I'm saying is that the Yoruba were actually they migrated from the Nile Valley, so they were the priest in that Egyptian system.
Sister, that's pseudo.
Is it? What is?
That's not true.
Who says that?
The Yoruba did not come from no Egypt or the Levant.
They came from the Nile Valley. I didn't say Egypt.
I'm saying the area. There's no genetic evidence that they came from the Levant area. Majority of people say, I mean, not the Levant. I should say the Nile. Even the Nilotic. There's no direct evidence of that, sister.
Well, there is
Genetic wise, the preponderance of evidence says otherwise.
According to oral tradition, that's where they say.
I was on mute, y'all.
Nah, but I mean, this is what I be talking about when it comes to retro stuff. Nah, but there's multiple oral traditions. Some of them say that they come from Lamarudu, came from the Middle East. Like
Angola, you hold up. So as she was saying, it's oral tradition.
it depends, though. That's what I'm saying. It's been retro. A lot of this stuff has been retrofitted, brother.
Well, hold up. Also, you have to also include where you get your information from. Are you getting it from black people? Are you?
Yes, of course. I'm. When you look at the oldest, oral tradition, they don't say that Lamarudu or Duduwa came from Nile Valley.
Give us the references that you're talking about.
All right, let me go look at the reference.
And real quick, I wanted to add this.
Don't say little.
You know that Yoruba language is a combination of Ge'ez.
Yeah, don't.
That's not true. That's pseudo.
Hey,
it's not.
Can I just say this real quick? What I do know?
It's a Niger Congo language. It's not no combination, no Gaese. Like this is why it'd be hard for me to be
Can you please just give us the drop the reference in the back check. Just drop the link in the back check, bro. That's all.
Let me understand this.
Yoruba's migration patterns from the Ile-Ife that they didn't come from no Nile Valley. All right, let me hold up.
Yes, and please make sure it's not from the racist white people.
Bro, I'm not, brother. I'm not.
What? The guy is literally white that's talking. Listen, I want to say this that I did know. Genesis, hold on. I don't know if he was saying that they're stepping forward because it's a code of like where something is stored. I know that much that is not true.
No, he's saying because that it was about the ancestors that your connection to the ancestors in the big toe and stuff like that. So
no, because they step. Listen, from what I know about that is, and from speaking to Jabari, who is a hymn netter. He's a Kemetic priest, and looking at the information, just basic. That's just like Kemetic people, Egyptians had like they really focused on the heart, and like weighing of the heart in the afterlife. Stepping forward with the left foot was about being like righteous and pure in your deeds, not being evil. And going forward with positivity. I remember that, and I remember that hearing Jabari kind of explain that. So that had nothing to do with. It sounded like he said of some hidden treasure or a marker of who you. No, that's not what that meant. Not in Kemet.
The spirit of consciousness.
No, because I thought you said something was locked in it.
No, it was the spirit of consciousness. What he said is that the records that they speak of that they're looking for. The Hall of Records is not a place. It's actually found within the statues. That's what he's talking about. The Hall.
Yeah, those statues aren't stepping forward for you to find the records of.
No, that's not what he said. No, he said that
No, I think it's more of a symbolism. It's a symbolism of you putting that foot forward, showing that you're righteous.
Yeah, that is exactly what it means in Kemet. But I didn't think that's what he meant. What he was saying. Well, maybe you could play it back. It sounded like he was like. Those are those statues that the information is written on and locked in, the esoteric arcane.
It's like you got some information in it.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like he was saying. So that part I was like, okay. Everything else I didn't know.
I think what Brother Ngozi was trying to say is that I would agree. It's like there was no major migration of black people moving out of Kemet. When Kemet fell, you had the priests. If the priestly class, that means you only have like 5 or 6 people who are elders who are initiated that are moving out of there. It's not going to be no major migration of a completed people. You know what I'm saying? You're only going to have a couple of people who's going to have that knowledge, and they're going to pass it along.
But the material culture is not the same.
Wait, hold up. Wait. Let me finish. And so you can actually show that the information was passed along from a group of people from Kemet to the Dogon and to Nigeria and to the Ifa, because it's the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whole. It's not like
brother,
a thousand. Wait.
It's the same all throughout the continent, though.
I'm saying it's not like a thousand people. You know what I'm saying, that migrated. You had like 10 or 15 priests who left out, that kept the knowledge, that retained the knowledge, that passed it along. I'm not saying there's like 30. I'm not saying that there's 100 people.
So none of them were scribes. None of them had any.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the scribes who had the knowledge, not the average person. And so you only have like 10 scribes that left out.
So why didn't the written language transfer with them then? That makes like in the material culture. The architecture is not the same at all.
Diop showed that the language from Waldorf and Senegal is the same and Obinga showed that is from Kemet. He showed that there's the language.
I've seen the linguistic breakdowns. That's the only little credence that I would say that it has. But in terms that, if you look at the preponderance of anthropological verification, you're not only going to look at things linguistically. The most thing you would see traditionally would be from material culture. Like you said, they already had a written language. You didn't see that transfer over to West Africa. When you look at the genetics, they're not connected. To me, it's just our people want to cling to the Nile Valley so much because of the material culture that they had.
It's not even our people that say that. There's people that Yoruba people that say this. What are you?
No, but I'm saying that story of them coming from, because it's been again retrofitted. It went from they came from the Levant to then it went to Egypt. In reality, it is a place east of Ile Ife, but it's not as far as no Nile Valley.
I think Tony Browder has shown us. He showed us that, and he found in Kemet the symbols, the same symbols, the same symbols in Kemet that you see in Akan in West Africa, but in Kemet.
Are you talking about the Adinkra?
Well, hold up, but yeah, the Adinkra, but
the Adinkra is not that old, brother.
Wait, hold up. No, in Kemet it dates back to it dates like 2,000 years.
Yes, but the Adinkra is not that old.
Hold up, brother.
At all.
If you going, but the people in West Africa was not living there in the same time period. And you think about the same time period that you find in East Africa, that you see in West Africa. They weren't living there in the same exact time period. So there had to be
I'm not saying they were.
There had to be a migration, a transfer of information.
Yeah, but it's not from no Nile Valley. That's what I'm saying. The preponderance of evidence says that.
But we also know that it doesn't come directly from the Nile Valley. The people who founded Kemet, they didn't come from Kemet. They came from the South and Central Africa. So you have
how far deep are you saying?
What are you talking about?
Are you talking about like a Lake Victoria region?
I'm talking about 40, 50,000 years ago. You have evidence. There's evidence of people coming from Central and Southern Africa and coming up to Kemet to found that civilization.
I don't know that that's the truth. I've seen the same reports. I think our people have a longing to want to be from that area, which I do think that those people were what you would call quote unquote black. They're just not our direct people. They're more tied to the people of the Horn. They're not tied to us.
Nobody's saying that. I'm not saying that I'm direct. Listen, here's the thing that I always say. I'm not saying that I'm directly connected to Kemet. I don't claim that crap.
But you are.
But hold up, wait, hold up.
They migrated to West Africa.
Okay, wait. But you never hear people from France and Britain and Ireland never disclaiming Greek heritage and philosophy. They all claim it because it is a foundation of European Western accumulation.
It's different with Greeks and Romans with Europeans though, because they have colonies all throughout Europe though, so they can really claim direct lineage from those people.
And what we are saying is that Kemet, Kemet is the accumulation of African knowledge at that point and at that time. But there was always people. I
think y'all are enamored with the material culture, brother.
Can I just show this right quick? So it says, all right. based on it's called the Theologia Viatorium. According to that, and this is just an overview of what it's saying in the on this theological viatorium. It says oral traditions and some historical theories suggest that Yoruba people originated from the eastern region of Africa, specifically the Nile Valley, Egypt, or Nubia, before migrating to their current location in West Africa, led by figures like Oduduwa. This ancestral group is believed to have settled in Ile Ife around the first millennium BCE. Key details regarding this theory include cultural and linguistic evidence. Researchers point to similarities in language, religious beliefs, and customs between the Yoruba and the ancient Egyptians to support Nile Valley migration theory. Alternate theories, while migration from east is strong traditions, such as entry for Yoruba people, suggest Yoruba emerged in situ their current thing. So there's two different stories, right? So but from what I'm understanding, there were two different people. You had some people that were there. You had some people that migrated. So Ile Ife is considered the cradle of Yoruba civilization, where migrants under Oduduwa settled among existing groups. So that is the oral tradition. I'm not sure. You're talking about we want to feel like we're close. No, this is what
I'm familiar. If you Google right now, does Yoruba oral tradition say that they came from Mecca as well? That's gonna come up. That's just taking stuff from search engine articles that are already on the internet. If you look at the sources in any West African scholarly consensus, there no serious West African scholar is gonna say that that's plausible.
But I'm saying is that
who's your serious West African scholar? Who's your scholar?
As far as Yoruba and more specifically Ibadan is concerned, the brother that you have that created the Yoruba metaphysics book.
all right. He gonna disagree with you, but okay.
Nah, he's not finna agree that it's a preponderance of evidence that says that they came from no Levant, brother.
I'm not saying Levant.
Even when you look at like I said, with the oldest oral traditions that I've seen directly from the language, they don't say that it came from no Egypt.
Have you talked to an actual Yoruba person? Because I know a Yoruba.
Yes, but
they came from the Kush Nile Valley.
Nah, but a majority of Yoruba people today contemporarily will either if they come from Abeokuta, they're gonna say that it was Mecca. If they come from the more southern inter Yoruba lands, they're gonna say some place in Israel. But like I'm saying, when it comes to these contemporary oral traditions now, it's been bad. That's why I'm saying when you have to take all this stuff with a grain of salt. It's been so many retrofitted innovations within the culture.
Well, I mean, what you're saying is correct. I mean, the oral tradition said they came from Mecca. I mean, it's been so long, but
and that came from after the Sokoto Caliphate is when they entered into the quote unquote oral tradition.
Yeah, I mean
that's the problem with not having a writing system too as well. It's susceptible to easy innovation.
But you have to understand, they got pushed out of that area and they went back into Africa. But that doesn't mean that they did not have the same belief system.
Wait, what area? They got pushed out of what area?
No, like you said, it's Africa. Brother, I've heard the same origins that they came from Mecca, the area in Mecca, and the Levant, and then once the Aryans came in, they went back to Africa. They went back to Central Africa. They went back to where's Nigeria.
That comes from a direct period during the Sokoto Caliphate when they were trying to tie themselves to Bilal, that whole Mecca thing. But
I'm saying you had a migration of people who left out and came back in.
Came back out and left out of where and came back into where?
Mecca is not in Africa, so they left out. They was forced out of Mecca and went back into.
Brother, that didn't happen.
Here's a question. Pseudo. So you have a hard time believing.
You just said it. You just said it.
I said it's a pseudo. I said it's a pseudo theory. It came because of the Sokoto Caliphate and the influx of Muslims within the Yoruba culture wanted to tie themselves to Bilal.
Do you believe that Hebrews went into Nigeria as well? That the Hebrew in Israel?
No, that's pseudo nonsense.
So there actually are Igbo people that believe that as well. That believe that
And
they
they're
are.
pseudo. I know that for. I've spoken on that plenty of times on
So black people, so I guess
That's
Nigerians, they
pseudo
never. So
nonsense.
the Nigerians, they never come from
The
nowhere.
They don't even know where they come. So
Hebrew thing is
Nigerian
pseudo
people do not
nonsense.
know where they come from. They don't know their history.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
oral tradition is
I'm saying
all
a lot
pseudo.
of them don't know. That's facts. A lot of them don't. That I mean, if you're familiar with Africans, you would know that for a fact. That a lot of them don't know.
But
And
you still, brother,
that's why they're susceptible to be hoodwinked and duped by these people with these agendas.
I
Very
still
few
need that.
people,
But I
contemporary
still need.
Africans,
Hold up,
actually
hold up. I
study
still
that.
need that information where they. I still need that information that you saying that they that you know what I'm saying they didn't migrate it from out of Kemet. Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from?
Let me get the what tradition the dictators.
And are you going to go through are you going to say, well, one book is better than the other, or one thing is more substantiated?
Nah, but it's again, I'm gonna go with the preponderance of evidence in terms of the migration of this quote unquote migration.
The
Like
evidence, like I said,
there's not enough evidence to make that assertion. To
according
make
to who?
to even
According
say
to
it's 50% true.
like I said, Obinga and Diop said that the people who came out of Kemet went to West Africa.
I'm familiar, brother.
Okay, so who are you saying that they're wrong?
Because
Diop said that, and he was an archaeologist,
that
right?
postulation is not supported by the preponderance of evidence. When you look at it,
but who's the evidence?
The claim that they're making is not substantiated from substantial enough evidence. I'm sorry, it's too drastic.
They provided the evidence. They provided much evidence as linguistic and culturally. How much evidence do you need?
Again, brother, that's if you're making a claim like that, you need genetics, you need the linguistics, yes, you need the culture, yes, you need the material culture, yes, you need if somebody has a liturgical culture, you need that, yes, and there's not even a semblance of it.
Okay, all right, go ahead and drop it in the back chat so I can check that out.
We could just share it too if you want to share it. Like I can pull up the article. But we have been going for almost 2.5 hours, so I want you to get pretty much start landing. Fasten your seatbelts, put your tray tables up, and Genesis bring us on to bring us toward the closing of it, please. And this doesn't have to be the only time, but I just don't want it to be too long. People see a video for 4 hours, they're like, I'm not clicking on that. I have stuff to do. Go ahead.
Right. So the main thing I was trying to, we have some people that don't believe that there is a connection between the Nile Valley and Yoruba spirituality, but I do. I think that there's very much similarity in the Neter and the Orisha. How that similarity just popped up. Like, I don't know if everybody was just on the same wavelength and they all came up with the same way of seeing things. I don't know, but from what I understood is that this was a school of thought that was brought into that culture. So that's
but sister, you would say the same thing about, let's say, Mbundu people. They have a similar cosmology, a similar quote unquote pantheon, and there's actually a direct migration from out of Cameroon into Central Africa and quote unquote Southern Africa as well. So, and that's direct, but nobody's saying the Bakongo people were Yoruba at one time. Nobody's doing that, and there's more evidence. There would be more evidence to point towards that than to say that they came from the Nile Valley. But I digress. Let me find this one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that a lot of those people migrated to different areas of Africa, not just only Yoruba land, but also throughout Africa. I mean, just like we migrate now, everybody doesn't just stay in one place and just. Why do we think that everything is people just stay in one area and don't migrate?
No, nobody's saying that, but I'm saying there's more direct genetic evidence to support that theory, and more linguistic evidence to support that theory, and more material evidence to support that theory than them coming from the Nile Valley. That's what I'm saying.
There's also
but nobody's pushing that though. They only pushing the Nile Valley stuff. For some strange reason.
Nile Valley Kush area, yes. And if you actually look into the Yoruba language, it is a combination of Ge'ez and Egyptian and
that's nonsense.
Oh, it's not okay.
It's that is a Niger Congo language. That's nonsense.
Okay.
It's not no Mr. No Ge'ez. Like, where are you getting this from?
Hey, if you look it up, you can look it up.
All right, brother.
You said it. So wait. So are you saying? Are you talking about? Because it's a Niger-Congo language. Yoruba is not that old of a language. So you're saying that the Yoruba directly is a mixture of people that migrated from what, Ethiopia, that spoke Gaez, which is an Afro-Asiatic language.
I think what they say is Sudan. That's the area that they point out the most. Sudan.
Can you where can you point me to the reference? I would like to study.
Well, like I said, I learned that from an actual person, Yoruba actual priest.
Yes, that's why I be. It's really it's.
I learned that from a Yoruba priest, and I did the research.
No, I'm not saying it's on you. It's just extremely. That's why. And when I was speaking, even about the dude that Oyinbo that was talking, it's hard to take any of this contemporary stuff serious because it's so much interpolation and retrofitting. Like it's really just hard to decipher with it.
Right. So you're saying it's hard to understand, but you're not bringing.
No, I'm saying it's hard to decipher what people are retrofitting.
What scholar are you saying that is saying the opposite? Because you're saying you're going against everything that's being said, but you're not saying what scholar. I can tell you, the person that told me that was a priest. You know, that's actually
what scholar that said that this guy is. No, like that. You're asking me to prove stuff that's nonsense. No linguist would even entertain that. It's cool. Let me find the article that you were asking for the migration.
Yeah. So let me just say, I mean, the work has already been. I should have got the Obinga book, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, he showed that East Africa and West Africa culture and language is similar, and you showed that check out the Diop. You showed that Kemet and the languages from Kemet in West Africa are the same. All right, and you have to remember, you're talking about thousands of years, so things are going to change. Ain't nothing going to stay exactly the same. Things are going to change. All right, and then we got Brother Fukiao. Great, this is a great book. This is a great book. Get this book because he breaks down the similarities in Kemet, and you see the similarities in Kemet in Congo, okay, and then the brother Dr. Zulu. This book right here, he does the same thing. He shows you the similarities in the language, in the culture of Kemet in South Africa. All right. Hold on, I got one more. Muntu. Yo, this is my book, right? Yo, I love this book because he breaks down the similarities of all of African cultures, East, West, North, and South. He shows you that they all are the same. Okay. So, I mean, we grew up in a Western culture. Okay. And Western culture is anti-African. And that's one thing that we have to realize. Western culture is anti-African. So with that in mind, we have to put the information that we learned on the back burner. I'm not saying let it go. I'm just saying put it on the back burner and let's put forward the information that our people are bringing forth. Like Tony,
but it's about what
the brother Tony Browder, Anthony Browder, the only Black American, the only Black person who's been for the past 20, 30 years, has been in Kemet, who's been in Egypt doing archaeology research, the only Black person out of everybody else. And he said what? That there you could show, he proved that the Ndinkra symbols started in Kemet, and then it migrated towards the east. So the information is there if you want to look for it. And we have to
with the Ndinkra symbols, it's not the timeline is conflated.
We have to take a grain of salt things that white people have been telling us. That's all I'm saying.
Brother, this isn't coming from white people. That's when I don't know what you're bro. I focus on real. I focus on direct, real African culture, not stuff that's theoretical.
Who you get your information from? That's what I'm saying. Who you getting it from?
It's
I don't know any Black person.
It's not no white people. It's the evidence.
I've never known any Black African scholar that said that the Nigerian people, that the people from East Africa did not have a connection to the people in the East. There's not one. So I'm just wondering where you get your information from. All right, that's it.
So connect. How far east are you talking about? How is that funny? How far east are you talking about?
What you mean? How far east?
How far
East
east?
Africa, bro. We're talking about East Africa.
How far east? He just said that first of all, you said Gaia, so that's all the way near the Horn, and then he's talking about the Nile Valley, which is
how far
that's
east?
Sudan. Yes, how far?
Okay, hold up.
How's that funny?
Maybe only 300 miles east.
What do you when you're talking about east? That from West Africa to East Africa. That's you could be talking about the Niger, the beginning of the Niger River. Like it's cool, brother. It's run of the mill with the whatever they call it with the Egyptian wannabe Egyptian stuff. It's cool, bro.
It's all good, yo. It's all good, man.
All right, let's go ahead and get to the closeout. This is great. Listen, I like to hear both sides. I'm just sitting back listening, taking notes. So let's do our closeout, Genesis, because we can do a part 2. I just really wanted to give you a chance to have a voice on this after what happened to you over there. Yeah, go ahead. Close out, then we'll get everybody's final word.
I hope that this opens up more conversations, because a lot of times we focus on just the Israel and the Hebrew aspect of things, but we have a lot of like mystery when it comes to the Yoruba culture that I think that we need to talk about more. The fact that we're even having a debate on whether or not, I mean, that's a debate I think that that Mansa and Ngolo should have. Maybe he can come out with some real actual some about what he's saying, because
if we being 100% honest, bro, like no scholar would take none of the postulation serious. That's a serious scholar, black or white. Like the scholars that be proposing the stuff be fringe scholars, and I'm talking about in contemporary times.
Fringe. So
I'm
you
not
think
talking
that
about
Diop was fringe?
Sheikh Anta Diop was no, I'm not. He wasn't fringe. Sheikh Anta Diop was good. More specifically when he talks about the Sahel, but in regards to Obanga was great. Obanga's a great scholar. But I'm in contemporary times, the work that I've seen from quote unquote scholars is not sufficient.
I love Obanga.
I think you're also assuming that I'm getting my information from contemporary scholarship.
I'm talking about with the Egyptian thing, the connection to like especially when people bring up the Adin Kra. That's the Adin Kra that the time period of where the Adin Kra was developed in ancient Egypt, like it doesn't match at all. But
I will say this is I think that this is great that we're having this conversation, because like I said, this whole culture has been left out of a lot of conversation because it's been kept a secret. I think more people need to have this discussion, but to say that a lot of this knowledge is just only fringe is because it's been hidden. People have not talked about it. And really, like
it's because the oral tradition, when people interpolate stuff, it makes it extremely hard, and it's happened in a lot of cultures, especially around that Benue area and the Bida Benin area, and it's due to external influence. If I'm trying to look for this article, the primary source I had when it was a pre-colonial detailed oral history. It's hard. I'm trying to find the direct article. It's hard to find.
Why don't you, Ngolo, do you want to come in and actually present it one day?
What about?
Because you haven't really done that.
About the oral tradition?
Yeah, come back with Mansa. And if Genesis wants to join it. Yeah, so you can really get the real details of it, get it together. And I mean, when I say one day, I mean like maybe after the debate, sometime next week.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be good, because you have a lot of information. I know people have lives, but I would like to see you finally get up here and do a presentation. I don't think you've done one yet here, have you?
I haven't.
Yeah, that would be great. So people won't be just, they'll know a little bit more about what you know. I know our brother Mansa Hercules has definitely done a great presentation. He needs to do more. But yeah, this is a great conversation. Are you willing to come back and talk with Ngolo, Mansa? Sir?
I mean,
Mansa.
I'll be around.
All right. I know you'd be around. You hit these links when you say, "Oh, this is something I'm interested in." All right.
I want to say one last thing. All right. Could it be so far-fetched if Egypt was an empire, right? It was the Egyptian empire. Why would it be so far-fetched that their stretch it would be as far-reached as West Africa? Just like America has reached, its empire has reached all across the globe. Why would we think that the Egyptian empire that it was all over everywhere else, but in West Africa they had no concept of it, even though they had pyramids, they had all the same things in West Africa. They
had pyramids.
Cut all that out. Yeah, they did.
What pyramids?
They had pyramids in West Africa. Yes, they did.
I think they're called
made of what? Like, are you talking about in the same style as in Sudan and in Egypt?
They had rounded pyramids. They had, and those things a lot of them got blew up. But yeah, they do have pyramids. Yeah.
Did they get blued up?
Got blued up. You know what I'm saying? But they do have pictures of them. They have images of them, pictures of them.
I find it to me is strange. I see, especially within the like quote unquote contemporary now times, like with all the information available, I see very, very few people championing the cultures that we actually like have verifiable, direct, 100% proof from, and the concepts that they push, and it's always comedic. For some reason, I guess it just by happenstance, the one that everybody clings to is the one that had the most material culture and architecture. So,
don't you think that in the future we're gonna hear probably more about the United States than say Niger and like
hopefully not from Black people. Hopefully not from a culture that you don't come from.
Right, but I'm just saying, like 1,000 years from now, I'm sure that the impact that America has had on the whole entire world, that you're going to probably hear about it in the future when it comes down to history, because it's basically an empire, you know. Why would we think?
When it comes to other people, like when you look at Europeans, it's different because their empires actually like they it's verifiable proof that when the Romans and the Greeks, they actually went over and made it with a lot of those people. So a lot of the people that be trying to profess their culture actually have genetic ties to them. When it comes to Japanese people, you're not going to hear no Japanese person sit up and talk about the Han Dynasty. They're going to talk about Nobu Nobunaga and the unification of Japan. Korean people are not going to talk about the Han Dynasty and the Mongols. So it's just weird, but it's cool.
Look up the groundnut pyramids in Nigeria. They forgot.
Let me let Mansa get in here.
Let me get out of here with this. Yo, we got, like I said, we have to stop. We have to let go of this Eurocentric ideology that we have, because we grew up in a Western society. We grew up amongst them. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Africa. You know what I'm saying? They idolize Americans. They idolize white people because they haven't lived amongst them. They didn't grow up amongst them. And if you actually talk to the Black people that come from Africa, that's been here, they'll tell you that their mind is blown, because once they start living amongst white people, they like, what the hell? You know? So, but
what does this have to do with Eurocentric mindset?
Hold up. Yeah, that's the Eurocentric mindset because we grew up with a Eurocentric world view.
No, I didn't though. That's the thing. I don't. That's foreign to me. That's why I don't value the material. To me, I value the constructs of the culture, the functional aspect of the culture. I don't care about pyramids and.
Hold up. If you talking to me now, right now, you talking to me on the laptop, internet. You grew up with a Eurocentric mindset. Okay.
I didn't though. Hold up. That's
the thing. You don't understand the African point of view, because if you understood the African world view, you would understand why a group of people could build a pyramid, could build a structure of pyramid that could stand for 4,000 years and still travel across this planet, but not leave a trace of themselves. Okay? Because when you ask the question, well, how come, you know what I'm saying, they could build pyramids, but yet they can't travel across America? We don't have any evidence, because that's not a Black person's point of view. They don't go around.
Man, come on, bro. That's nonsense, man. That has nothing to do with no European worldview or no African worldview of not leaving no trace. Like, come on, we talking about evidence.
All right, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you one question. Let me ask you one question.
So evidence is a European worldview.
Wait, hold up. Tell me, what black philosopher have said that African people and European people have the same epistemology? Which one?
Nobody said that. I would never say that.
If they don't have the same epistemology, that means they don't have the same worldview. African people don't go around the world.
I mean, you're talking in circles, though. That didn't address anything I said.
Go around the world trying to make their mark. That's what white people did. They go
but you're gonna leave trace, bro. See, this is nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. You have there's evidence that they directly went to other areas in the Levant because that's closer. Like, come on, man, brother. It's clear. It's clear that there's a desire for people to want to come from there.
Black people went around,
and it's not no African mindset that's making people do it. It's really European.
Show me where black people went around the world and claimed things for themselves, murdered, raped, and stole shit from other groups of people. Show me
that has not. What are you? That's a non sequitur to this conversation. That has nothing to do with evidence of saying where somebody migrated. That's leaving a little bit of material culture. The same quote unquote Kemetic people that you're talking about have direct evidence of places in the Levant that's closer that they had quote unquote colonies. And I'm not saying that quote unquote Kemetic people were you said what?
What are the
I need you to read more, brother. You need to read.
I read that book, Yurugu. Bro, I read that book when I was in 11th grade, brother.
You didn't understand it. Obviously,
I did. I'm not going with the run of the mill. Because again, like y'all keep I mean not y'all. You keep doing it. You keep doing this Eurocentric stuff. The only Eurocentric stuff is valuing something that has material culture and not valuing the actual essence of the culture. That's what I do. I don't care about the pyramids and all that stuff. That stuff is just shows you have good architecture and you can do mathematics. The thing is the quality of the average individual. I like cultures like the Kikuyu, that the slavery is not a part of the worldview and it's egalitarian. I'm not focused on the stuff that Europeans value. The Europeans value Egypt, so black people want to value Egypt.
That's right. Word. I agree. Now I need you to prove Marimba Ani wrong.
I didn't say she's not wrong in her analysis of the differences between European culture and African culture. I agree with her 100%.
You said you didn't agree when you talk.
Nah, I said anybody that's I don't agree with the fact that the migration from from the Nile Valley, quote unquote Egypt or Kemet to Yoruba, the Khan, all that. There's no evidence. It's not enough evidence to make that statement categorically.
All right.
Let's go ahead and end it. I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to everyone with the level of intelligence. Really helps us, think and learn. And so both arguments are helpful, so we can go do our own research. Again, like I said, everyone, please, Ngolo, anyone else, if you have information, come in and share it. Do a quick presentation. It doesn't have to be spectacular. But it's always helpful. So thank you to everybody. Genesis, thank you for coming in. I'm gonna let you have the last word, and then I gotta end this, and we'll do a part 2 soon. We're in 3 hours.
Can you at least show my page and say, hey, check her out on her page? Is that allowed?
No, I can't. Hell no.
Oh,
just kidding. You can do that. Why? Yeah, of course.
All right, please check my page out at DJ Genesis Detroit. We talk about this, we talk about politics, we talk about a lot of different things. We talk about Ifa a lot, and we're going to be doing, like I said, classes on divination.
So tell the name of the channel again. I gotta tell you what is it?
It's at DJ Genesis Detroit is my name, DJ Genesis Detroit, and we're going to be doing classes on divination. So if you want to learn how to do divination in the next weeks, once I'm able to access my channel again, because I got like a strike, so I'm like down for like 4 more days, and next week we're going to start up with those classes on divination. And you'll be able to see that full video in full that I just played, where he's going to break down actual, like the beginnings of divination, the actual the 16 major Odu. He's going to break those things down and how divination is done. And then we're going to actually start getting into how to throw divination, how to do divination. And it's no longer going to be a secret. So.
All right.
And thanks to Laurel Burns for the idea of precognosis. We're gonna piss a lot of people off with this divination thing, like because people that do not want people to know how to do that because they're making too much money off of it.
Oh yeah, that brother is pretty good too. Is he still up here?
Yeah, he's still here.
All right, Laurel, go ahead and you get your last word. I thought you left, and then I'm gonna play some music and close out. Thank you so much, Genesis. And to the people, like I said, everybody knows I am a Christian, meaning I believe in Jesus as a historical, real Messiah. But just because I believe in that doesn't mean that I'm going to say somebody is evil and satanic, especially when I don't fully understand what they do. And so this is to the people over there, especially Naphtali. You're a teacher, so you gotta, and you're a judge. You have to judge wisely. You have to do things wisely. And I'll leave you with Christ, Naphtali. Jesus said, they accused Jesus of being a satanic demon lover, and but you all know that. So peace to you, Genesis. Sorry that you got jumped over there, but we'll bring you on some more so I can do some more teaching, because I love when Ngolo and other people who know about the spiritualism get in and talk with you, because I learn. Laurel, have your last word, please. He fell asleep.
Laurel, you there?
He's asleep. I don't blame him. Probably it's 1 o'clock in the morning where he is. Who said I didn't call dude evil? Was that Ebony? You were over there jumping Genesis? You got your kick in?
I was getting beat up. I was getting beat up over there, child. They was.
Oh,
man. I was like, man.
Okay, everybody. All right, Laurel. We didn't hear anything from him. I guess he fell asleep. But peace, everybody. Genesis, last word, and then that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and close with the music, please.
Well, I just want to thank the HOK for giving me a platform to at least get out what I was trying to get out over there on that other channel. But I get it. When you talk about something that people have never heard before, people get afraid of it. There's a lot of fear that's wrapped up into this. There's a lot of folklore. And when you are told your whole life that, this is soothsaying, that the angels came down and gave this knowledge to people and it was forbidden knowledge and it's not supposed to be, that this was given to us by some evil spirit and this, that, the other. I mean, I can see where people would be thinking that this is an evil thing. But when you get deeper into it, you understand that there's a difference between people that are fortune tellers, that are soothsayer. There's a big difference between people trying to tell the future and a person that's using ancient scientific information to diagnose problems within the person, problems within the community, problems within the universe, etc. So there we go. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. And you know what? I'm slow. We're on a delay over here. Peace, everybody. Have a great weekend. Oh, shoot, almost forgot. Let me get this flyer up here. Do not forget to get your tickets for this debate tomorrow. It will be going down 7 p.m. sharp Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Tickets are only a donation. The donation is $30. You can have a whole debate party if you like. You can sit and see. The topic is, see if you agree or disagree. Did all humans come from Africa? We have the brother of the pseudo killers, the captain, the head of the pseudo killers, founder, Ankh, and he will be going up against the flat earther, the leader of all flat earthers, Brother Sanchez. Ankh is going to be in the, I believe he's no, he's not the challenger. I think Brother Sanchez is challenging Ankh on the out of Africa theory. Monkey or man. So get your tickets. Don't wait until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to start trying to get your ticket. That's okay if the tickets are still available, which they most likely will be. But just get your tickets now, okay? The link is pinned to the chat, so it's in the description. We will see you all tomorrow. We will see you all tomorrow at this debate. And with that said, now I'm going to play Genesis' favorite and one of mine, the song. Shout out to Afu Nation and Revelation X.
Frankie and the trendsetter.
You did it again, man.
General, HOK Field Marshal, you know? None of them can but a dance on the top.
Revelation, set the top.
Violate the general. Head up in a blood clot funeral home. Ankh the AK Jabari got the chrome. Head crevice the how we sending them home. Regina the alley with a Cuban and a galley. Send you back on Nile Valley with a shot in your toe intellectually. How click the link if your scholarship sloppy. More just wanna make you cry with the truth. No lie, my youth in my really scored and 21 gun salute for commission. Not a brother, a hustle, a move like all left on the black woman, not all like Ulls and the Yana past sister freedom. I don't hold panel, no what time for Bible thumping. The minute them see me come, revelation set. Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can bother dance on it. None of them can bother dance on it. Them got a podcast, but saw better.
Yeah. Coast to coast, we be banging. Coast to coast, we be bringing all this knowledge, we be slanging. In the HOK, we don't do no entertaining.
Speak the truth, speak the facts.
What the niggas just a layman. Better get on one accord. The future can be yours. Ancestors push you more. We gotta go explore the sciences and math. The future's based on class. You bout to catch my wrath. We turning up this track.
In the dark minds of the light.
The dark heart still fight.
Still can all unite.
We gotta make this right. Talk right now. We learn how to stand up and stand proud. No man down. We fam now. House of the Cox to my clan now.
Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can bother dance on it. None of them can bother dance on it. Them got a podcast, but saw better.
When I look at you niggas, I see what I'm not. Go take him, a little bit of her, mix it with them, I put them in a pot. You still can't get none like me. It might sound the same, but it's unlikely. One white tee. If I live it up, then you niggas gonna see where the gun might be. I thought I told ya. Afro Nation, Revelation, we some soldiers. Sinetta put this team together, now it's over. We got the weight of the world up on my shoulder. When you get conscious information, hearts turn colder. Now look at these trappers who rapping the same, so stuck in their lane, systemically, chemically. I'm thinking something is wrong with their brain. As long as they paid and flying the chain, I got nothing to say. They in love with the gang. I traded my gang for change, and now that I changed, a few things still say the same.
Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can bother dance on it. None of them can bother dance on it. Them got a podcast, but saw better.